on in. Come on in. Come on in. Now come on in. Now come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video. Right.
Hey, y'all. What's going on? Okay, y'all, let me know because I can't remember if I think I might not have sent this link out to everybody. Hold up. That's what I'm thinking. I forgot to send it out to everybody because I see everybody from YouTube here. And I want y'all to think I was trying to play on y'all top like that. I just genuinely have a lot going on right now. My family is trying to put together a family reunion, and I have to do the visuals for it. And so it's like, I'm trying to work on that, trying to make sure I get all my videos done, trying to do house shit. I find out we have some termite damage from this last termite season because it's been raining so much. And apparently, girl, it really creeps me the fuck out. I haven't had to deal with that since I was a child with actually seeing what happens when termites eat through wood. It creeps me the fuck out. Okay, hold up, y'all. Let me put this link up there. Put live now. Okay, just so they'll, hurry up. Get in here, girl. Get in here, girl. I'll come in here and rename it later. Okay. So it was just sent to Patreon. Okay, make sure somebody puts it in the Discord if they haven't already. Let me go to the website. I normally do this shit all one after another. I don't know what curtailed me when I was doing it yesterday, but it'd be like that sometimes. I'm gonna wait before, I really start and give everybody a chance to come into the room. Oh, girl, it's a lot. Before I came up here, after the last live that I did, it's so interesting to watch people's commentary or watch people be so hyper focused on trying to disprove that somebody is a victim and in the meanwhile completely miss out on paying attention to the person that's doing the harming. Um Live now. What am I doing, K Michelle? On what's this nigga name? Cam Newton. Okay, we're posting it on the website. We're pinning the post. Pin the post and pin the post and pin the post and pin the post. Okay. Okay. All right. So I posted it to the website. I posted it, I posted it everywhere now. So I'm gonna give everybody a chance to come into the room, girl. I saw a Discord link. Okay, good. I have it all queued up, but in order to waste time and give people a chance to get here, because my brain, baby cakes. I'm sorry. Songs be stuck in my head. Yeah, you and me together, Sarah. That's mine. I want you to smile, smile, Sarah. Won't you smile? I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes them old songs be stuck in my head, bitch. But anyway, so I posted this. Yes. Oh, no. I'm a run that one. Thank you for the Sex in the City thing. This is not that. This is an episode from Law and Order Special Victims Unit, and everywhere I posted, they take the sound off, which is fine. Okay. It's fine, girl. But I want y'all to pay attention to what's happening in this scene because this is how pimping happens. And I feel like we're acting like this doesn't happen to grown women as if grown women, like there's not a documentary right now that's being promoted about how many grown women are trafficked, kidnapped, pimped out. And a part of the psychology that will go into that is whenever those women are in a situation where they could possibly run, by the time they get to that point, they won't be able to because they'll be in a cage in their mind. And when you imprison somebody in their mind, it doesn't matter that they might physically be free. Mentally, they are not. So you know what I'm saying? Like it's really crazy to see like these themes repeated over and over again in so many different ways, and people still like not be able to pick up on it or catch it. But it's fine because I'm here. I'm here, girl. All right, now let's pay attention to this clip. So you see the girl got off the bus. She gets off the bus, brand new in town. She's looking around, showcasing she don't know where she going. Look at him. Look at him. He see her. This always happens. A lot of the times you don't know niggas know you already. And look, homeless man bothering her. He run up. He offers help. He's a savior. That savior shit is always very interesting. That's how you like just, it happens over and over again. It happened in Enough as well. Now, look, nice hotel room. Just gave her some dick she ain't never had before. Now we giving her jewelry. It's beautiful. She asked, why are you being so nice to me? Because she knows something isn't right. She just don't know what's not right. The rest of the, those guys you went to school with are punks. Because she was saying men have been so mean to her. She can't believe he's being so nice. Bro, that's because they're not nice for no reason. She knew that, but she let her better judgment go to the back of her mind. Now, look, she liked the shoes. He got her in lingerie while he bringing these niggas in and out. You could tell ain't nothing happened yet, but this is how the game is worked. She is in a setup. She doesn't know she's in a setup. This is a conversation him and this nigga have already had. You gonna bring the shoes over. She gonna want the shoes. I'm gonna be like, hey, y'all could work something out for the shoes. Now, that's the mental part of it. She's not happy with it, but watch she go along with it because what's the other option? What's the other option in this moment? Like it's the two of them. If she fights, they might beat her up and take it from her. Cause that's also a fear that's going on in the back of your mind. If I don't go along with it, they're gonna hit me. So I might as well just go along with it because I'm scared. They've now let me know they don't mean me well. Now she's crying for another John because he's pimping her out. That was the intro. Now he's trying to do it again. And she's saying she don't want to do it. He tell her he got guys lined up and he slaps her. Oh, but look, she left a mark. She scratched him back. She's scared because she know he about to beat her ass. He go in the bathroom. They give her an opportunity to call somebody for help. Okay, calls her daddy. But I like to play that one because I feel like that always goes back to my mind about how people are pimped out. And it happens with psychological abuse first. Somebody preying on you and figuring out a way to present themselves as a safe space for you because most people have their defenses up. So when people are being predatory, they're always trying to find an angle to come at you from. That's why you can't ignore people's predatory behavior just because you think it's not happening to you. Because if given the opportunity, they will, because that's what they are. I'm just saying. So that's why this is the clip from Sex and the City that I wanted y'all to see. And it's a long video, so I probably won't play the whole thing. But we are giving people the opportunity to come in the room. I haven't even played my members only music yet. Hold up. Let's go to the actual one so I can speed through. Woman who gets everything. Why is the volume always so low on TikTok videos? Like, what TikTok be going through? Like, what should be going through? Who? 1-5. I'm gonna mute myself.
She wants in this society. Generally, you have to create an internal story about who you are that goes up against a social story about who you should be. Two of the most iconic American TV shows, Sex and the City and Girlfriends, revealed this kind of anxiety that comes with creating a modern womanhood. Now, these are two very different casts, literally set on the West Coast and the East Coast, with a lot of differences in between them. As I worked through these shows as a young woman, I realized there's something I missed as a child who only heard about these protagonists, Carrie and Joan. It's not easy to define for yourself what success means when you're going way off base of a script that was probably handed to your mother or your grandmother, especially a script that was reinforced through society, social tradition, religion, and policy. Thinkers and writers and activists like Alice Walker and Fannie Lou Hamer, they knew that this world that they were just dreaming into existence would one day slowly have to be inhabited by modern women. Each of these different successful women in both of these shows are quite vocal about their lives and what they like and what they don't like, but they also hush this secret little anxiety that they have around that freedom. And it's one that tends to affect their relationships to other people and their relationship to themselves. That anxiety is something that has to be examined because it has serious power to sabotage you. And that is where a lot of the dramatic narrative is even found in these shows in the first place. Yes, there are antagonists and terrible mother-in-laws like Bunny and rude men, but alas, one of the more dangerous enemies is the unexamined idea that has you subconsciously derailing your own life out of fear or guilt. Sex and the City and Girlfriends may be about modern, forward thinking women, but so many of their problems are rooted in the past. Fear and guilt are useful for getting a certain category or group of people to stay in line or stay in place. Say you do get the chance to bolt. You might pause because you've been successfully socialized to not upset the order of things. Maybe you don't even question who wrote the order of things to begin with. Carrie, Joan, and her friends are all living very much outside of a social script or world that was built for their mothers and their grandmothers. But at the same time, like many modern American women today, they do have a choice in what they hold on to that's traditional and what they decide to choose that's progressive. They can pick traditional elements or standards that they keep in their lives. There's so much drama and ongoing debate around their relationships, including famously Carrie's relationship to Big, because it highlights some of the challenges that have never changed no matter how forward we go. For example, let's look at the constitutional proposed amendment that Kimberly Crenshaw and Catherine McKinnon, both legal theorists, introduced in 2019. In that document, they laid out that women and people of color, if they had autonomy or freedom in this country, it was not because of the Constitution, but in spite of it. They knew that the ongoing effects of historical inequity and the way they had been addressed could not stand forever and have not stood. The American Constitution and society that came out of it was intentionally built on male dominance and white supremacy. The drama in Girlfriends and Sex and the City not only reflects the real life or played up elements of everyday struggles, but also a constitutional reality. Joan is navigating her world as a professional Black woman, a lawyer, and Carrie is navigating her world as a single writer. Both are trying to have relationships with men who still benefit from the patriarchy. Now, you might say, they look free to me. And in the words of a question once posed to activist Kwame Ture, don't Joan and Carrie seem free to you? Yes and no. Joan is not on a plantation. She has bodily autonomy. You might argue she has even more bodily autonomy in a show set from 2000 to 2008 than a modern American woman does today. And that is part of Kimberly Crenshaw and Catherine McKinnon's point. They argued that the proposed Equality Amendment is what would finally, from the ground up, provide a constitutional basis for democracy and full citizenship and agency for all people. Under the current Constitution and legal frameworks of interpretation, that kind of equality can always be walked right back. They write out how doctrinal backlash and political reversals consistently return us back to the original constitutional state. Maybe you've heard of originalism. This is a legal interpretation that says it's important to interpret the Constitution based off of what the founders' original intent was at the time. But a result of that is a state in which the challenges faced by women and people of color are made invisible, one in which their rights are less protected, if respected at all. When we talk about founding fathers, sometimes we're not talking about all the people that were there for the drafting of the Constitution or there at its signing. Those people are the framers. Is there overlap? Yes, but the founding fathers who were framers were initially intending to create a state in which there was female inequity. There is power in the words and the work of Kimberly Crenshaw and Catherine McKinnon.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there because I told you I was long. And this is a Baetol, ABAETOL. That's her TikTok name if you want to follow her further, because that's where I got this from. And I love what she said at the very beginning of the
To
clip.
be a woman who gets everything she wants in this society.
To be a woman who gets everything she wants in this society.
Generally, you have to create an internal story about
You have to create an internal story about yourself
who you are that goes up against a social story about
that goes up against the social story about who you are,
who you should be.
who you should be, who you should be. That makes more sense. You get what I'm saying? And I never thought about it that way, but I think that's the reason why. Like, those of us that like grew up feeling like this shit was wrong, like from the beginning, from a very young age, the things we were told, just like, bitch, that shit don't make no sense. And then somebody told you have faith or some stupid shit. And so then you create this thing where you can literally go around believing that it's better for you not to ask any questions. When the truth of the matter is, you should investigate your religion. You know why? Because if you investigate Christianity severely enough, you might end up at Christ consciousness. And if you end up there, that's a beautiful place to be. People have got to understand that the Bible is not a history book. And so you should not be basing everything off of something that is basically allegory, metaphors, something veiled. It's not literal. the way it's written. And I think people are not understanding that in their worship of the religion. I just had this conversation with somebody, like arguing with me about whether Noah's ark was real or not. It's like, my nigga, like, do some research on how that would have been impossible. Do some fucking research on how that would have been impossible. My God. Okay. I'm trying to see if there was anything else. Oh my God, y'all. Y'all want to talk about a video that blew my top? Have y'all ever seen this movie, The Parent Trap, with Lindsay Lohan? It's one of my favorite movies, girl. And I have watched it so many times. We're about to get into K Michelle after this, y'all. But I've watched this movie so many times. And it is not until my big age of watching this video that I really think about what was happening in that movie.
Meredith Blake.
Hi. Meredith Blake was a public humiliation ritual for women disguised as a fairy tale villain in a feel-good rom-com. Designed to make you feel bad about your standards, to make you accept less. The most confident woman in movie history. Really high-powered, successful PR baddie at only 26 years old, who knew exactly what she wanted and was unapologetic about it. Who had her standards, refused to settle unless they were met. This was the woman that millions and millions and millions of women saw go from a confident, composed baddie to a screaming mess, degrading herself for a man. This was a humiliation ritual for women who knew their worth. Then they could be categorized under gold digger. They purposefully made her have these unlikable traits, hating his kids, being the homewrecker. So then we would equate these strong baddies with the villains. But it was always the villains in shows and movies that tried to liberate women. Meanwhile, the actual villain all along was Nick Parker, who proposed and went for a beautiful baddie half his age and then had the audacity to still look at his ex-wife like this. He was the villain that no one talks about. He's a lustful dirtbag. This is exactly why we have this diabolical 50-50 climate right now, because they've shamed women who knew their worth through this insidious indoctrination camp called TV and film. So women would accept less and lower their standards. In reality, men are the biggest gold diggers there are. They have no problem being selfish as fuck and using women for everything. For our bodies, free therapy, beauty, youth, or a dopamine hit. God forbid a woman has standards. They purposefully made you hate her. That's how this whole gold digging label came to be. Gold digging, this woman was successful in her own right and just wanted a man on her level. So they had to villainize her and call her a gold digger to shame women into settling and feel guilty for getting the life that we deserve. And this worked like a charm. I have a book coming out about all of this, the most insidious lies that women have been sold through TV and film.
That sounds very interesting. Cunty Chanel, everybody. Okay, I like Cunty Chanel. I like her. I follow her on Instagram too. But anyway, I thought that shit was so interesting, you guys. I was so taken aback by that. I was like, bitch, why have I watched this movie a million times and never thought about this shit? Like, what happened, girl? Why did I do that? But I just thought that was so interesting how she really was framed. Like, I remember Jessie. Like, she was such an asshole to Jessie when she rang that bell and told Jessie, it's such a big house. Jessie came in that bitch, you rang. 2 martinis, please, and make Mr. Parker's a double. And she stood there and look at her, and then the man says, go ahead, Jessie. Okay, get the drinks. Which is like, this man is letting you be under the control or under the power of this little girl that he just brought back to the house. Like, so if anybody's doing something that's disrespectful to you, it was him. Because if he was really the one that wanted you to be respected, he would have turned to her and been like, hey, don't talk to her like that. Don't do that. Don't ring no bell and all of that. She's not a dog. She's not a maid. She's a house manager. If you want her to get us something, ask her like a normal human being. Like, he didn't check her. He never checked Meredith. He never checked her. That was her name, right? He never checked her. And then it framed him like he needed to be saved. Our dad needs to be saved from a gold digger. Your dad's a douchebag. Your dad's a douchebag, sis. Like, what kind of fucked up parents split their kids up? Let's start there. Like, what the fuck wrong with y'all? Why would y'all agree to that? You keep a twin and I'll keep a twin. Are they people or what? Are we okay? Sitting up there talking about that girl was a gold digger. I know why she's so interested in Nick Parker, and all of them are down at the whatever national bank. Girl, that lady had her own money and then came from money. Her parents had money. Her parents were also the original characters from the first Parent Trap back in the 70s. Child, all of that girl, the girl who did that, the original Parent Trap, they used to redo her movies all the time. Every time you turn around, they was redoing her movies. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into it. I want to run my shit though. Where is it at? Members only, members only, only, members only, members only, only.
And he knew I was going to college. And he was like, come to this college so you can be close to me. And as a young, impressionable girl, I'm like, I'm going to FAMU. But once I started to read about FAMU and everything, I wanted to go to an HBCU. And I was infatuated with FAMU. You couldn't tell me I wasn't going there.
And you went there?
I went there. I became Miss Freshman my first year. And I became Miss Florida A&M University.
They just get that to anybody. Huh?
No, they don't.
I was just
joking. Let me tell you. Let me tell you what I was. No, they don't. So I won Miss Freshman. All these rich people had all this money. And I was singing dorm to dorm to get the vote my freshman year.
What song would you sing?
I was singing anything they wanted. And I wrote the whole campus a letter. Because I didn't have the money. And I didn't have all the money to spend for candy and all that. I would sing. That was my gift. My freshman year. And I went in and I just remember winning Miss Freshman. And I was just me from Tennessee. They thought I was so weird and so different that by the time I was running for Miss FAMU, it's political, even in that. I was running for Miss Florida A&M University. I had pledged Delta Sigma Theta. And I found out I was pregnant after I won Miss Florida A&M University.
And at this particular point in time in life, you had no connection with Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed is not.
No, by the time I got my freshman year and I got there, I had my first engagement ring.
You don't say?
Yes.
You've been getting rings.
I get a lot of rings.
I don't.
I don't know. You get a lot of stuff. So I got. You do.
Yeah.
I researched.
What do you mean slow down? You've been jabbing her and saying it's a joke this whole time. I didn't count at least 2 jabs. Let's run it back.
God, in search or pursuit of God.
Yeah.
And he talking about, I need you to go. I would like for you to go to FAMU. Then all of a sudden you go to FAMU. He ain't even on that beaten path.
So like, I want that type of love. Like that.
Men will always try to use God to control you, girl. That's why. Yeah.
Type of love where you're so delusional. Where is that? So he never went to college. He just lived in the city of the school. And he knew.
Why do you want that? Why do you want that? Girl, I'm at a loss.
Yeah, Tallahassee. And he knew that I was like, my parents are really big on me going to college. My dad is a college professor. My dad is 82 and he's still a college professor. He's more famous than me in my city. And he knew I was going to college. And he was like, come to this college so you can be close to me. And as a young, impressionable girl, I'm like, I'm going to FAMU. But once I started to read about FAMU and everything, I wanted to go to an HBCU. And I was infatuated with FAMU. You couldn't tell me I wasn't going there.
And you went there?
I went there. I became Miss Freshman my first year. And I became Miss Florida A&M University.
They just get that to anybody. Huh?
No, they don't.
I was just joking.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you what I was. No, they don't. So I won Miss Freshman. All these rich people had all this money. And I was singing dorm to dorm to get the vote my freshman year.
What song would you sing?
I was singing anything they wanted. And I wrote the whole campus a letter. Because I didn't have the money and I didn't have all the money to spend for candy and all that. I would sing. That was my gift. My freshman year. And I went in and I just remember winning Miss Freshman. And I was just me from Tennessee. They thought I was so weird and so different that by the time I was running for Miss FAMU, it was political, even in that. I was running for Miss Florida A&M University. I had pledged Delta Sigma Theta. And I found out I was pregnant after I won Miss Florida A&M University.
And at this particular point in time in life, you had no connection with Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed is not.
No, by the time I got my freshman year and I got there, I had my first engagement ring.
You don't say?
I don't like to start at the very beginning just because.
Yes.
You've been getting rings.
I get a lot of rings.
I don't.
I don't know. You get a lot of stuff. So I got. You do.
Slow down.
I researched you.
He shaded her when they talked about her getting a scholarship for yodeling. I remember that. He was like, oh, they give scholarships for that? And I'm sure you understand why they wouldn't give a scholarship for that, right? Oh, they just giving those out. Like, he keeps making little slick ass comments.
Slow down.
Okay. Oh, slow down.
This is my show. Don't hurt me.
I think you like me here.
No. I love you here.
Okay.
But since the toxic me wants to know what you heard about me, so I can confirm.
Can we be honest in this space?
I'm trying to tell you, you got to tell the truth.
I heard about you leaving the first girl for the stripper, and I was like, oh, that was my first time hearing about you.
Say it one more time.
You left the first girl for the for your strip. Not disrespect, because I was a stripper.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, I love strippers.
You do love. I love strippers too. I was.
It's an appreciation. I think that's the Atlanta in me.
I was a stripper. I was a stripper after college. After I was Miss Family,
What
I was
was
a
your name?
stripper. Piper.
Like Pied Piper?
Yes,
You should have been Yodel. Yodel the Great.
But I only danced to country music, and I wore overalls, and I only danced to country music as a stripper here in Atlanta.
You're talking about an experience. See, that's the thing about Atlanta, about like our expectations for experiences when we go into the strip club is different than any other city. Because a lot of people lead with faces and bodies, but Atlanta's a total package.
Yeah.
You gotta have sets. It's like, okay, if you go up the stage with the partner, like it's like a performance arts performance. It's like, yo, like, oh, she got it going on. You know what I'm saying? It's like from the outfits to, you know what I'm saying?
So imagine being in college, being Miss FAMU, like fighting, the odds. Like, Kay, you literally are Miss Florida A&M University, and you're gonna have a baby. And I remember being pregnant and walking on campus holding my mom's hand and giving up my title because I had to, giving up my title and saying, I've never played things how they're supposed to, play. And I remember my last year, I walked on campus, I'd given up my title and won Miss Florida A&M University and decided to have my child. And I had 21 credit hours and 2 incompletes. And still in 4 years, I still graduated. Top of my class and got in 3 law schools with a baby and everything.
To me, I feel like when you would think like that was supposed to protect young women from having sex, but they weren't really like making the young men accountable. And so when you're teaching the girls and the boys 2 different things and the girls end up pregnant, the girls are usually the only ones that end up being punished in the process of you reprimanding them for getting pregnant. Because to be very clear, you don't have to punish somebody who is about to put themselves through unnecessary pain. Having children very young, losing out on opportunities or freedom because you're a parent at a young age has its own set of responsibilities and accountability from the decision to, get pregnant and have said baby. So that's why I feel like, you don't need to punish women for it. Because if they're going to take the responsibility of taking care of the child, them being responsible for it, it's punishment enough. Like, it's punishment enough that they're going to take care of the child. That's how that should be handled. And then when people decide they want to abandon their children, when their children don't like them when they get older, that's the karma for that. Like, everything has its challenges and everything has its, its outcomes at the end of the day. But we don't need to punish each other for shit like that. Like, we don't need to beat up on women all the time for shit like that. Except for when they are abusing children and shit. Like, like when you just drop the kid off and leave it, it's probably because you're not equipped. But at the same time, I think it's so important that when women get pregnant, like she seemed to, we don't punish them because they had a baby. Because you don't punish the boys because the girl had a baby. Like, he doesn't have to give up anything.
That's dope.
And that's why when people be like crying about circumstances and things, I am the circumstance. And I don't really have, maybe I should be softer, but I don't have a lot of sympathy and things for people because that was my first media scandal. So after that, I dated like a rich nigga, huge boxer, knocked out Roy Jones, everything.
Well, you don't say everything but his name. Who?
Antonio Tarver. He don't care. That's the homie. I met him in Memphis, Tennessee after I had graduated, and he was trying to talk to me, and I said, I don't want to talk to you. I want to be a star. And I told him ahead of myself. When I was at FAMU, the father of my child now, he was on CNN every day and everything because for hazing. He got in a big hazing case.
Oh, he was at FAM. But what? Oh, wow. For the fraternity.
Yeah. For Kappas. And literally, I had a baby by this man, and all those guys lost, if they were in pharmacy, anything they were in, they got kicked out of programs. And the father of my child was the dean of pledges for that.
Dang. Oh.
And he proposed to me, and I said, no, fuck that. I'm gonna be a star. I don't want to be your wife.
Now Tarver proposed to you?
So my baby father proposed to me. I thought he was going to jail, and I was working hard or whatever. Once I got out of college is when I met Tarver. And my first year out of college, I went back.
Not pledge. What did you major in?
I majored in business, minor in music.
Okay.
And I graduated, went to Memphis. My mom was really big at FedEx. She was a big executive at FedEx and got me a job.
FedEx is extremely big in Memphis because that's
all we got.
I'm in transportation, so
And I had this job getting paid more than most out of college would get paid. But I knew that I didn't want to do that. And I ended up seeing Antonio Tarver in a club in Memphis trying to, date me. And I said, well, I don't want to date you, but I want to be a star. He said, I don't know nobody in music. I said, but you know people that know people. I said, give me the number and I need to figure it out. So
is that labeled an opportunist or
that's labeled a motherfucker that got to get in there and get it.
Well, you got it then.
No, it wasn't what I held. I went from.
First of all, I don't like that he called it being an opportunist, because essentially this is why other communities of people are successful, because they understand I'm going to, help the people around me. My business is going to feed somebody else's business. I'm going to help everybody around me get on. That's how community works, right? That's how a lot of people's community works. That's why you'll see people from other countries come here and they'll all live in the same house until everybody gets a good job or gets their education accomplished, and then they can help each other. You're supposed to be helping the people that you come into contact with, like the people that are around your little small area. Like, you're supposed to be helping those people, whether you are friends with them, whether you are sleeping with them. Like, to me, I feel like that's the way we should be handling our surroundings. Like, being a plug to put people together or to link this person with that person, that can be a really good thing. That can be a good thing. And I don't think that should be seen as being an opportunist. Is that not what happens in football? Do you guys all not get in the same room and socialize and trade business cards? Oh, I do this and I do that. Oh, I need somebody that does that down at my business. I'll give you a call. Oh, I need somebody to come and fix something on my house. I'll give you like, is that not like, why would you frame it as opportunistic when she says it? The nigga wanted something from her. He wanted to marry her and all of that. And she said, I didn't want that. You want to give me something out of our interaction? Help me with my career. And what she about to tell us is that still didn't do nothing for her.
A club on a Friday to this big boxer. I don't know nothing about no boxing. But I knew I cannot stay in Memphis. And this was not what I was supposed to be doing. So he heard me sing. Was like, oh, you can really sing. So I told him, you need to get me to somebody.
And you got to figure that out. That's your job. Okay. I didn't really think you could sing either.
You did?
No.
Why? Tell me why.
The first time I knew of K. Michelle was reality TV.
Yeah.
And then
what does that
I heard, how do you know? It was on Pandora.
Why you been singing that? You like that song?
I love it. But I heard that song. And I was like, who sang that? And then I Shazammed it. And I was like, oh, that's K. Michelle. I was like, no. Like, no disrespect.
No, I'm with it.
I was like as in the K. Michelle on hip hop.
In this moment, she's accepting it, and I don't know why, but he's shading her. He's shading her. I don't believe him. I don't believe that he didn't know that she was a singer. She's literally known for being like Love and Hip Hop. It's called Love and Hip Hop. It's about music. Yes, everybody that's on there does not sing, but K. Michelle is the only fucking person, with the exception of Cardi B, to go on there and to really be more so known for the fact that they're in the music industry. For him to say he knew that she was on a reality show, but he did not know she was singing when 3 earrings happened in the studio, on a piano in the studio, can't raise a man. Like, her music was like always behind the reality TV show thing. Like, the reality TV show came out, an album came out, or a song came out. She was always performing on the show. It doesn't make sense that you would ever really watch her on that show in any capacity and not know she was a singer. That doesn't make any sense. You're hating on her. Really, what it feels like is you keep trying to find small ways to invalidate her, because being around somebody like her probably makes you feel insecure. So you have to keep finding ways to cut, and then act like it's a joke, or act like, oh, I just didn't know. Yeah, Cap. I called Cap just like that hat. Cap.
Oh no, I gotta go now. I gotta fool with it now. Because a lot of times,
how do you even know that song?
No, let's just say I've been a fan. So don't let my competitive side deter you from appreciation.
Thank you.
So when that happened, TV does
don't let my competitive side make it seem as if I don't appreciate the music. Meaning that the fact that I'm going to sit up here and tell you I don't know who you are because I view you as my competition. So that means I need to knock you down a few pegs. It doesn't mean I haven't heard the music and I don't think it's good. It just means that I'm going to say shit to knock you down a few pegs because I'm competing with you. Even though you're a woman and I'm a man and we shouldn't be competing, I'm interviewing you. I'm still going to handle you in this moment as if we're competing for something. He's a weirdo.
A lot of picturing for Black communities and things that I didn't expect you to be able to sing like you could sing. You know,
That's real.
because even really like let's Cardi B. Yeah, I think Cardi B was as talented as she was until like she dropped Bodak Yellow, and then I'm like, hold on, who is that? Cardi B? No, not the. So that's how it necessarily happened.
I respect that because that was difficult for me trying to do reality TV, being your truth when it wasn't popular.
At the time.
Yeah, at the time now. Yeah. But then it wasn't popular to do retro reality TV and to actually have a talent. So the amount of money spent and time spent to try and, say this is a real artist, it was a very difficult thing.
Yeah. And be taken serious. That was the difficult part. It wasn't hard to do it, is to be taken serious doing it. Now, I can hear the comments now. I can hear everybody like, right, to what you said about me.
What I say about you?
Left my baby mama for a stripper.
Did you
Men today face immense pressure to perform, to provide, and to keep it all together. So it's no wonder that 6 million men in the U.S. suffer from depression. If y'all don't prioritize the children, then they will be affected the most. I never left nobody.
If this nigga
Someone. I saw you with this big personality, and I was like, oh, he fly shit. Like I watched that. I saw that you was like a rebel. I'm always for the people that are not in line with what people think. So that's my first time seeing you and witnessing who
he's in line with what people think. Yeah, he is. Once you get to a level of power, you can be more honest about certain things because you have the power to do so. The only time people are really doing the hard thing is when they're being themselves and they don't have the money to tell everybody to shut up with.
Who you were. And so, of course, while witnessing that, I got to witness he left this and that. And me being for the women and writing these songs about me. And I was like, oh, this is juicy. If I'm being honest, this is some juicy shit.
Can I make it juicier?
Yeah, make it.
She was the stripper.
Who was the stripper?
I never left nobody for a stripper.
Both were strippers.
No. She was. That's why I didn't leave under those premises. And the reason why I'm open to saying that is because I've had clearance with her to make it public. And just like her, a lot of people have history in dancing. So it's no, like some people be like, oh, he dated a stripper. Like where I'm from, yeah, it may not sound good, but to walk around with something that like it's, dare I say, because I'm a church boy, I'm rebellious, I'm the black sheep. It's like when I was always going against the grain, you know what I'm saying? And that's where we found our love at. In this rebellious state, like, yo, I'm rocking with you. You know what I'm saying? Boom, we have 4 beautiful kids together, 5 collectively. And yeah, even still to this day, we have a great working relationship. There's times there's ebbs and flows just like any other relationship. And I think she's one of 3 baby mothers that I have. I'm currently with 1.
Okay.
I think the thing that a lot of people may say is I always have to monitor how the children feel. You know what I'm saying? There's times where I feel like, yo, our relationship is unbelievable. And then there's also some times where I feel like, why are we playing this childish game? Going back to when 2 adults have issues with each other, if y'all don't prioritize the children, then they will be affected the most.
Absolutely.
So that's just a ongoing, relationship that I need to stay healthy. Because if we've had our ups and downs, and some of it and most of it has been public, but that's my dog. Like that's a person who, that's still my responsibility. Make no mistake about that. The woman that I'm with now knows that about each person that I procreated with. That's just the alpha male in me. Like I take care of mine, So the narrative also, may have been he's creating broken homes. Yeah, but I take care of each.
Does that bother you?
It really does. It really does. But needless to say, I take care of my homes. I don't even like my baby mama saying today, a single parent. You got too much support.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
I think the thing where I have watched what you've gone through is the rebellion and being a very rebellious person and, being from a college graduate to a dancer. You know what I'm saying? I think I witnessed it and I thought it was like a win for like dancers because 2, we are human.
Yeah.
And I watch what's going on with you, Cam. And I watch people's opinions of this and that. And I make sure I watched everything that you've been saying and how you, have conducted your shows and everything because I wanted to know what I was walking into. I am what people might call a feminist. But I'm also a realist, and I get it. I know that probably has affected you in a manner of.
I don't know how K. Michelle would call herself a feminist. I really don't. I don't know how she would call herself a feminist. I need to hear more.
Creating broken homes, but taking care of your kids and still being in the public. Look, when it comes to stuff like that, guess what? Your kids are the only one that matter in that situation and what they see and what they feel. I don't know anything about the women personally that you date or anything. I can only say that at the end of the day, it's about your kids. And it is about, maybe you're not in the home every day.
Thanks.
My parents have been together over 30-some years. Okay. And I don't know how it would feel to not have my father at home every day when I came home. So I know men can go have babies here, this and that. But what happened? What happened to structure? What happened to the feel of your father being there, this and that? I know that you are well off and you can handle and take care and spread yourself far around for a lot of people. Right. But you have to understand how women feel and how fuck the media, because they gonna whether he was married and doing that or not, they still gonna say some shit. Right. But what happened to the structure that I saw my grandfather, do? The structure of one woman, even if he was dipping off on the side, but coming home to one woman, every day and being there and seeing your kids every day.
What are you talking about? If he was dipping off in another woman, that means there's always some woman out there who's not getting the at-home treatment. And listen, you guys, I do feel, this is what I believe. I believe that having multiple people there to help you take care of a baby is most important. I don't believe it necessarily needs to be a man and a woman in a romantic relationship. I don't necessarily believe that two people need to be in a romantic relationship in order to co-parent and show up for two children. I often feel like the romantic relationship makes the parenting harder. Okay. But when we ask these stupid fucking questions about why you don't see your grandfather or your dad around anymore, those are questions that somebody who doesn't even have a really good education can tell you. Like Cam might have went to school, but he wasn't passing his own tests. Okay. Like I just, it's something about it, like you wasn't passing your own test, my nigga. Okay. But K. Michelle, with this, the way she has romanticized her family's dynamic, but you ran from it and didn't want to do it, meaning that you could have settled down and found a man to have a baby with and just live in a house with forever. Like, have you ever really inquired if your mom has been happy the entire time? Like, it's just very weird the way she talks as if her father being in the household made sure that she wasn't going to spend most of her life running behind stupid ass men. And I'm not saying that she's been running behind men like other people do, but the way she has fucked up her body, male validation, wanting to be a certain type of woman so that you can get a certain type of man, wanting delusional love, wanting fairy tale delusional love in relationships. It makes me feel like you're not being honest about what your parents' dynamic was like, because it makes no sense for you to have such unhealthy views on what relationships should look like. And yes, structure is important, you guys. It very much is important. And there are a lot of times that men do give structure. I've said a lot of times how great my father was at certain things, but his lack of self-control was his main issue. You can control yourself at work. You can't control yourself in a household. Maybe if people weren't always trying to save him from the repercussions of his actions, he would have been forced to heal or do some inner work. And he could have been better for us. And that would have made being in a household more of a positive thing than a walking on eggshells and you've taught me how to love an abusive person thing, which is what it turns into. So I'm very annoyed about the way they both romanticize two-parent households while showing us how two-parent households don't always work the way you think they should.
Probably see your kids. I don't know what you do every day. I'm not here to judge you. You probably see them every day still. But don't you think they deserve to always have you there in home?
I'm just waiting for you to finish. Yeah. You know?
Oh, you want me? Okay, go.
No, I think we share something, and I want to get to our relatability of being misunderstood. But to answer your question, yes, they do deserve that. I think there's a story behind every story.
Mm-hmm. He really can't get past people calling him to task for that. But the part about it is you still creating these families. You just had a second baby with Jasmine.
That I've been the bigger person in saying, you know what? You told your story? Cool. Mm-hmm. I'll be the bad guy because it's so easy for me to do. Because in media, the man is always the bad guy. You can't name me a man that broke off a situation that he's like, oh, he's perfect. It's just not gonna happen. So out of respect
Maybe y'all are always the bad guy because y'all are like always the bad guy. And y'all are kind of socialized to be the bad guy. And I'm not saying that happens every time, y'all. I'm not saying that. But in his specific situation, he is the bad guy. He fought that lady over a car. He fought that lady over a car. Y'all, I think he is mastered mentally, like abusing the mental abuse. Because I feel like he does it in these conversations. And women are usually like not aware of what's happening while it's happening. And I'm talking about Jazzy, even K. Michelle. Like they're all doing things where they're allowing this man who sounds stupid to kind of like bulldoze over them and just kind of giving up the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like making his concession on the inside to agree with him when you know he's full of shit.
Respect and love for her. That story that, oh, you left this, whatever y'all want to take. Between me and you.
Okay.
I ain't talking about K. Michelle. I'm talking about the situation.
Okay.
You know the situation.
How do I know?
I'm using you as.
Tell me. I want to know. Tell me.
I think to protect.
He is insinuating that you are a difficult, bitter baby mama. And so you should understand how somebody can be, blamed. You can understand. I feel like he was basically saying you didn't been abusive to these niggas. You didn't made it hard for these niggas. So I get you should know how I feel when I say this. Cause you've done this to men, haven't you? Like that's what it feels like to me. I could be wrong. Let him finish.
Other sources.
You don't even want to get it.
This is not the platform to say that. My maturity has taught me that. Mm-hmm. My team has also taught me that. Everything ain't for everybody. But
so what are you saying? I could have threatened you or I could have said something fucked up and I decided not to. Let's rewind.
Care and spread yourself far around for a lot of people. Right. But you have to understand how women feel and how fuck the media. Because they're going to whether he was married and doing that or not, they still gonna say some shit. Right. But what happened to the structure that I saw my grandfather, do? The structure of one woman, even if he was dipping off on the side, but coming home to one woman. Every day and being there and seeing your kids every day. You probably see your kids. I don't know what you do every day. I'm not here to judge you. You probably see them every day still. But don't you think they deserve to always have you there in home?
I'm just waiting for you to finish. Yeah. You done?
Oh, you want me? Okay, go.
No, I think we share something and I want to get to our relatability of being misunderstood. But to answer your question, yes, they do deserve that. I think there's a story behind every story that I've been the bigger person in saying, you know what? You told your story? Cool. I'll be the bad guy because it's so easy for me to do. Because in media, the man is always the bad guy. You can't name me a man that broke off a situation that he's like, oh, he's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So out of respect and love for her.
I've never seen a time where men aren't being defended. I've never seen it.
That story that, oh, you left this, whatever y'all want to take. Between me and you.
Okay.
I ain't talking about K. Michelle. I'm talking about the situation.
Okay.
You know the situation.
How do I know?
I'm using you as.
Tell me. I want to know. Tell me.
I think to protect other sources.
You don't even want to get it.
This is not the platform to say that. My maturity has taught me that. My team has also taught me that. Everything ain't for everybody. But understand this.
So is there something you can say to make your baby mama look bad and you're choosing not to do so? Is that the insinuation?
Children do deserve a 2-parent household. The reality is,
I think that's what he was saying. I think that's what he was just saying. He was saying, I've learned that I shouldn't spray her out there just so y'all don't think that I'm the bad guy. I'm gonna let y'all think I'm the bad guy. I'm not gonna tell y'all the truth about her. You remember how Scrappy always does that with Bambi? Like always talking about the shit that Bambi says. And then when we ask him specifically what he says, he can never really tell us.
That's just not how it worked out. No, the guilt in me feels that.
You have a guilt?
No. When you hear it, there can be a guilt that happens. It's like you create broken homes. I can't do that.
That was good, Kay.
About that now. But what I can do is try to make my wrongs right. I do that by showing up constantly. I have certain things that I do with children, my children specifically, that's our thing.
But what about now and having new kids and creating, is that a goal of yours? And you don't have to answer to anybody.
No, ask the question that you're asking.
You want me to ask you a real question?
Please. Go there.
Okay. Well, having the situation and relationship that you're in now, I did see that your significant other now is having another one. Is your goal to create? I think everyone would like to know, is your goal right now to create a 2-parent home for your child that you already have and your new child? Is that the goal? Because you do skate around that. From everything that I've watched, you do kind of skate around it. Is the goal? What is the ultimate goal right now in your dating and having kids?
Every situation that I've ever been in, I thought this was the last one.
Okay.
So to answer that question, do I plan on moving on after her? No. The plan has always been, even with the first, the second, the third, is nobody.
So you're in the relationship. You don't plan on moving on, even though you haven't married her. You don't plan on moving on, but you do plan on just continuing to have children with her until the relationship is over. And then you can say you didn't expect for it to break up. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. As long as the mothers are fine. I don't think the mother is fine. I don't think Jasmine is being treated well, but I also feel like Jasmine is so far gone in her abuse that she's the only person that's gonna be able to pull herself out of that.
It goes into a situation.
You know, you've never said that. Like I've said before, I come somewhere because I be attacked. I wanted to know what I was talking about when talking to you.
Oh, for sure.
You know, this is actually kind of the first time when you have said, my goal is to not have another significant other. You know, like really say that.
Well, let me say it.
Okay.
My goal has never been to have multiple significant others.
Okay.
It just worked out like that. So when I say my wrongs to the world or to the stereotype of what a household should be, it has always been screwed up.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What do you think a household should be?
I think there should be a male presence and a female presence in each household, because there are certain things that a man or a female should only or can learn specifically from a man.
Yep.
And then there are certain things that can only be taught from a female.
Okay.
So that's what I do believe in. I do believe there should always be a two-figure household.
Like what? I just have a question. So, because people will say things like, you can't teach a man how to be a man. And I just kind of feel like, I don't know what that means, but I feel like there are a lot of single mothers that have communities around them that raise great men. I think my husband's a great man. I think his friend is a great man. I feel like my brother-in-law shows up for everybody around him. Like, there are men who are doing the bare minimum good that were raised in 2-parent households. And, when I say the bare minimum good, meaning I don't know about what they do in their personal relationships. I can never really tell you. But I know how mine shows up. And I know how the other ones around him keep jobs, make sure that their children are sought after. Like, you know what I'm saying? They take care of themselves. I don't see them going around with their hand out trying to sleep on some woman's sofa. All right. They may not always be in the best control of their emotions, but they're also not men looking to just take so much from some woman. You know what I mean? So I feel like I don't understand how y'all feel like single parents can't teach men how to be men, or teach, like a man can't teach you. That's cap. That's cap. There are certain things only each gender can understand, each sex can understand, sure. But there are always other people that can teach a child those things. It doesn't have to be that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be you, Cam. It could be Jasmine's daddy, Jasmine's brother. Like, it doesn't have to be you. She does not have to stay with you so that her child will have a good example of what a man is, if there are other men in her life that can support her. And even outside of that, I feel like if you can just teach somebody how to be an adult, they will figure out how to be a man on their own. Because most of the time what y'all are talking about is responsibility. And I feel like anybody can teach somebody discipline and responsibility. And then it's on them to figure out what manhood looks like for them. But you really should just be teaching kids how to take care of themselves, how to respect themselves, how to respect other people, how to control their emotions, how to see after themselves, not requiring that of other people, meaning boys that know how to, and women, girls that know how to work jobs and fix shit, boys that know how to clean a house and take care of a baby. Like, everybody needs to be taught the same shit until you become a teenager and an adult, and you can figure out what womanhood and manhood, or your version of personhood, looks like for you. Once you've been given the bottom level tools. And I feel like y'all aren't even teaching these boys or these girls bottom level shit. Y'all aren't teaching them to like really love themselves and have confidence in themselves. You're not teaching boys to be respectful of girls and not be socialized in order to see girls and women as objects. Y'all aren't doing y'all fucking jobs. You know how many men I see in my comments talking about how they got daughters, but they up here arguing with me on behalf of niggas that they should be checking, but they want a dick ride for a child, basically. You a 40-year-old man dick riding for DDG in my fucking comments talking about you got kids. I feel sorry for your daughters. Women up here that don't know what these abusive tactics look like. So when your daughter come to you and try to have a conversation with you about what she might be going through in a relationship, you don't know what that looks like in order to tell her, you need to run in the opposite direction. She got to get knocked over her fucking head before you say, oh, you maybe need to leave him alone. The fuck? What needs to be taught is not being taught, even with two parents in the household, is what I'm seeing. The fuck?
Can I ask you something you might get mad at me about?
Man, you can't make me mad. I'm bulletproof.
We all get mad.
No, trust me. I promise you. There's nothing that a person.
You are passive aggressive, and anytime somebody says something that you deem as judgment, you find a way to get back at them. Just because you do it calmly doesn't mean you don't get angry and you're not being passive aggressive, Cam. I don't know why you feel like we can't see you.
Person can say that I haven't already cleared with myself. I just make sure that what I say doesn't offend the innocent.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I'm a straight shooter.
So let me ask you this. Being that you're living your life and you are who you are, you have your significant other who is who she is. Do you ever at night and when you're alone or in a space ever feel like you're speaking and things are hurting her?
Yes. Yes.
How do you feel? Like, what does that do
It took
to
her
you?
to tell me that. I didn't know. Because you got to understand too, that people have to give other people grace because those aren't.
So we talk about you saying things that hurt her. First, you say you didn't know, which I don't believe. If you didn't know, I think it validates us thinking that you're a sociopath. But also being a sociopath means you've known since you were young that you weren't feeling the same feelings that other people were feeling. So you learned how to feel the same feeling or at least pay attention, right? You learn to at least pay attention in order to cope in this world. But also him being an athlete means he probably hasn't had to have any real personable skills. But you're already sharking the opportunity, like the responsibility back onto her. You talked to her bad, so it's her fault for not telling you that you was talking to her bad.
Prerequisites of understanding for most men. And I always say this about men. Men don't register things the same way females do. Meaning, I don't know how to make you feel. I know. If you ask me a question, would you hit? Yeah, I hit.
Men versus
next
females. Men versus female. I'm really starting to get offended when people do that. If you're going to say men, say women. If you're going to say men, say women. If you're going to say females, say males. I need y'all to start like paying attention to the difference in language. You know why? Because calling somebody a female, you can be a female dog. You can be a female cow. You can be a female bird, bitch. But to be human and humanized means to be a woman. In our society, you have to be one or the other. Your genitals may not have to match with it, bitch, but you got to be a man or a woman or a version of. That's how everybody feel. That's how y'all feel. These are people that fall into stark gender roles. So I'm gonna need for them to show the respect based on how they view gender roles. The fuck you mean men and females? Boy, fuck you.
And how does that make her feel? I don't consider those things. I'm not used to. But now it's like, would you hit?
Do you see, like, I don't even get into that, but the attack on your significant other now, the type of attack that she goes through every day, you start tears in my eyes. That type of attack is the type of attack, you know, that I've gone through in different things. And to me, she's like a pretty amazing woman.
No.
And being in the media, you're never going to be right. They're going to attack you for anything, you know, like good or bad. But the type of attack that your significant other gets, I feel is very unfair.
And it's in large part self-inflicted.
What you mean?
Meaning inside the household, I bring these attacks to her. She used the words, not me. She said, baby, I feel like a piñata.
Self-inflicted. He said it was self-inflicted. You know what that means? You're choosing to be with me. So the abuse that is happening is your fault. So y'all, he's blaming the victim. Like you're literally the person doing it. You have no control of yourself. There is no point in time where you say, I don't want to hurt her, so I'm just not going to. No, that's not happening. Okay.
And you're setting me up.
Oh.
So with that, I needed her to tell me that people have to give other people grace because those aren't prerequisites of understanding for most men. And I always...
Nobody has to give you grace. They have to give themselves grace. Nobody has to give you grace. They have to give themselves grace. And if she was giving herself the grace that she deserves, she wouldn't have had a second baby with you.
Say this about men. Men don't register things the same way females do. Meaning, I don't know how that make you feel. I know. If you ask me a question, would you hit? Yeah, I hit. But you're standing next to your woman.
Mm-hmm.
And how does that make her feel? I don't consider those things. I'm not used to. But now it's like, would you hit?
Do you see, like, I don't even get into that, but the attack on your significant other now, the type of attack that she goes through every day, you got tears in my eyes. That type of attack is the type of attack, you know, that I've gone through in different things. And to me, she's like a pretty amazing woman.
Oh.
And being in the media, you're never going to be right. They're going to attack you for anything,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like good or bad. But the type of attack that your significant other gets, I feel is very unfair.
And it's in large part self-inflicted.
What you mean?
Meaning inside the household, I bring these attacks to her. She used the words, not me. She said, baby, I feel like a piñata. And you're setting me up.
Ooh.
So with that, I needed her to tell me that. It never and this is the thing too. My first baby mama didn't tell me that because she probably didn't know how.
Yeah.
But that does not mean that she didn't feel the same.
Mm-hmm.
My second baby mama didn't tell me that because she probably didn't know how.
Mm-hmm.
And now, as we're going through things, and this is why I always tell females, and I'm grateful that we're having this conversation and you're asking me these questions because
Females.
even as strong as I am, even as successful and how much money, I still need help. Help meaning you got to tell me, babe. Like, I don't know how this is affecting. No, for sure. And sometimes women lead with, you know, you're supposed to lead. Mm-hmm. And that could be like, hold on, but I still need you to give me insight so I can lead us, right? Mm-hmm. And we have these conversations. That's what I'm saying. I'm an open book.
I didn't know how you were going to be like in a conversation because I'm like, I'm going on his show. And one thing I've made a living off of singing the thoughts and writing the thoughts.
You have to teach people how to treat you. You have to teach people how to treat you. And so if a person is talking to you or handling you bad, I need for you to clock it immediately. Or when you have had an opportunity to process it. And I need you to communicate that. And I need you to pay attention to the way the person responds. If they gaslight you, if they flip it on you and make you feel bad, that is a signifier that they're not going to be accountable for their behavior. And they'll keep doing that shit until it whittles away at your self-esteem.
In real time.
And the true feelings of women. That is how, you know.
And can I be honest too?
Yes.
My team did a subject analysis.
Okay.
Of Cam Newton.
Okay.
And I was genuinely curious to what people thought. Not that I care. I was just curious. And to not have support from women bothers me.
You don't have that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. We're going to be 100.
Yeah.
You do not have that. Women are so mad and so bothered that when I told them that I was doing your show, they was like, light his ass up. Tell his ass up. Tell him the truth. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be me and I'm going to talk to him. I'm really going to ask the questions that I hear. When Cam Newton's name come up, I'm just going to ask the real questions. Like, and I think a real man, like you're doing, is going to talk. He's not going to, be offended. He's going to just have a 100 conversation. So if I'm sitting here, we're supposed to have a full 100% conversation. And people like your significant other. They liked her before y'all have become a couple. And some things that she has said, might have offended women in other ways. Like, and now they're like, oh, so now you're in this situation that you made fun about. Right.
And now all of a sudden you done switched up.
Yeah, you done switched up. But I'm telling you, something called being dick drunk. That dick. Oh, hallelujah, that dick. It will make you see things differently, do things differently, and just love in general. So what I want to do with you today is have, for real, not like it looks good for me, it looks good for you, but just like a 100% conversation.
I need that.
And that's what's needed because I don't feel that you are a bad guy. I'm not getting that. I've dated some evil fucks, but I'm not getting that in this.
No, with that though, like you have to understand growth is needed. Mm-hmm. And my heart goes out to my first baby mother, Kia, because like I love her. Like that's my nigga. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Sometimes she may not receive that.
Yeah.
And the circumstance can get a little sticky too. Because even though I'm in a happy relationship, her reassurance and granted, Jazz didn't even know Kia.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know Kia at this time.
Oh,
like,
Kia,
had
okay.
no nothing. Okay. But when you're dating a person, you start trying to do your research and you're just like, boom, my second baby mother, Lorena, her and Jazz, they met. So boom, it was one of the things that like, okay, cool. And people can't understand that dynamic because it's like, yo, no, I'm mature, I'm grown. Like, yo, and they met without me being there. Like it was one of them situations like, hey, boom, you and Miami, y'all cool, boom. And that's where a lot of people don't understand my dynamic. I pour myself into women more so than men.
Okay.
And I need it. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm going everywhere, but I'm trying to bring us back. Being in my position when you're the person everybody pulls from, your charging station for me has always been women.
But that's why there's this thing and there's this balance. Like, I'm the one in my family that takes care of everybody, all the family.
The woman being the charging station for you showcases how women are utilized by men and how they are not appropriately valued for the intangibles that they offer. He literally said he gets recharged from that woman and has the audacity to blame how he treats her on her for allowing it.
And the thing is, when you come home, you want to be, like you said, your charging station.
Yeah.
That's your charging station. You want someone to pour into
Right.
you
You
and
screwed
to
up for
give
that
that to
fucking
you and this and
car,
that.
right.
What I think is happening with women right now, can we be honest about what women are dealing with?
Yeah.
Women are making more money than men.
That's challenging.
Yes,
That
women,
challenges the
if you're going to
normalcy.
bring me hell and I can pay my own bills, it's not worth it. Women are going through this whole different thing of, you know, what it is. Like, I see my parents who've been together forever. I get to witness a traditional, you know, old school type of love. But nowadays, what we're witnessing city girls, we're witnessing this and that. And it's like the genders are doing this.
Clashing.
And it's like a hot topic and this and that. Yeah, it's cute, it's a hot topic, but it is really destroying families. When I go, okay, think about this. Being in Nashville all the time, well, being in Atlanta all the time and then going to Nashville, where it's predominantly white. One, they go home at 5 and 6 o'clock when they're producing because they go home to their families. Being a country singer, if you are a singer in country music, you're a man. If you are not married, it is not respected. Family is respected in country music in that space. But in our space, we are singing about side chicks. We are glorifying a lot of women. That's not what happens in Nashville. You can't call a woman a bitch, a hoe in Nashville because they'll never even listen to your music and your professional career will suffer. At what point in the Black community do our men create real homes? And even talking, just our first time talking.
Okay, so I need for her to understand that just because white men are not cursing women out in music, it does not mean that they're not knocking their heads between the washing machine and the dryers, right? So she said that, right? That's what she just said about. That's what she just said. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold up. Okay, y'all. I had a little malfunction. K Michelle just said about how, what did she just say about men and how white men aren't doing this? White men aren't doing this, right? Right? Hold up. Let's see.
Let's hear it for the band of the year.
I showed y'all this one, right? I showed y'all this one. This was the dude acting like a sociopath. Let's see. Let's hear it for the man of the year holding a baby. This is the night before she went into labor. That was a white man. Let's hear it.
I can pay fucking $50. I'll fucking say shit.
I actually did though. That's
your
crazy.
fault, then. Maybe it's fucking Witter's dumbass baby.
Okay.
How would you like him as a fucking boyfriend?
I could care less at this point.
Right. Can't wait till this fucking dumbass baby's born, bro.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back. No, she was specifically calling out how the music isn't respected in country versus rap. I thought she was saying that talking to women disrespectfully is not accepted in country music versus in rap music, where disrespecting women is okay in the music. That's what I thought she was saying. I also feel like that might be the case, but it doesn't change the fact that white women are going through atrocious things. Like women are white women, and that's the point of me playing this. And I was gonna play another one, but I don't want to waste my time. What I'm being made to understand is that you feel like Black men are disrespecting their women, and it's shown in the music, and how that wouldn't be accepted in Nashville. And I feel like I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. Country music is extremely toxic. It's always about somebody cheating. You may not be able to call a woman a bitch or something like that, but I've definitely heard lyrics that I think are problematic, lyrics that are abusive. And yes, country music is heavily rooted in Christianity. Like, just think about it. People don't normally call people bitches and hoes in R&B until your Chris Browns. But like the 80s and the 90s, like you ain't never heard Jodeci call a woman a bitch in a song, no matter how street and rugged they were. It's about the type of music that they're singing. If I'm singing a love song, I'm normally not going to call a woman out of her name in such a manner. Right? So, I mean, it's not like, and I'm going to let this finish playing because I want y'all to know what the white people are going through, because I really don't like that we always do this.
asshole too, bro. Fuck you. You don't fucking deserve that fucking baby body, bro. Who the fuck you texting now, Jonathan? Your fucking daddy? Maybe your mom? Your best friend? Your bitch ass other friends? Ones that don't even give a fuck about you? Why they show up fucking 3 hours late? Nigga, nobody cares about you either, bro.
I don't care.
You obviously do.
I
You
don't.
lied about that shit.
I don't care.
Let's hear it for
Ingrateful piece of shit. You fucking moron. You think I owe you something? What the fuck do I owe you? Huh? What do I owe you? Nothing. I don't owe you a goddamn thing.
let's hear it for the let's hear it for the band.
Priscilla, we're not fucking done, and I'm gonna get this shit to your fucking bitch ass head now. We're not fucking done, and get that shit to your fucking head.
Let's hear it for the year.
Believe it or not, I can beat the fuck out of you whenever I want. You please just listen. I can do whatever I want you. Stop.
What did you say?
I can beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah, no, we're not. Like, I'm being that ass. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Okay, bitch, you ugly ass fucking bitch. I don't give a fuck, you stupid ass ugly hoe bitch. I don't give a fuck.
How long have I been telling you to get
I don't give a fuck. I'm a bum, like you said. Shut the fuck up. You're not my bitch.
Thank you. I got it, y'all.
Yeah, one thing about my ex,
Y'all were hearing all those, right?
she never put me down like you. That's one thing about my ex.
That's the fuck other people.
She never put me. I don't give a fuck. At least she wasn't putting me down. You fuck people too, bitch. At least she wasn't putting me down all the time talking about my fucking money. She was supportive. She was trying to help me be better. You know what?
Yeah, and then she got tired of your ass because you couldn't pay for shit.
And maybe I do need your help. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in a good place right now in my life. But fuck you. You're not no supportive girlfriend. You ain't shit. You talk down on me. You make me feel bad when I don't have money. That's not no fucking real bitch. You ain't shit. I have to pay everything I want. He's a fucking bum. All right, fuck you then, bitch. I don't fucking need to be with you if I'm a bum. I'll fucking go to my parents like a mama's boy. I fucking am. I don't need to be hearing that shit from no fucking female. You're a mama's boy. You're a daddy's boy. Man, fuck you. You don't fucking know me, nigga.
Child, the way they love saying the N-word is wow.
That's the thing, though. These bitches think they know me. You don't fucking know me. You don't fucking see the sacrifices I fucking made for us, but I don't give a fuck no more.
What
dude. I swear to
sacrifices,
God, I
sir?
don't give a fuck no more. I've been dealing with this shit for way too fucking long.
And I've been dealing with you.
Okay, you got it so hard. You been telling. Okay, then go get you a nigga that got money. You fucking go digger now,
But
bitch.
that's
I
the
don't
thing.
give a
I
fuck,
don't need
bro.
one.
Then go be alone, bitch. I don't give a fuck. What part of that don't you get? I don't give a fuck what you got going on. You are not my bitch. So shut the fuck up. Why are you in there talking to me still? I'm a bum, right? I'm a bum. Get the
Leave.
fuck out of my face, nigga.
Leave. There's the door.
And give me the key.
Here's your fucking key, bitch. I'll fucking leave on you right now, you stupid ass fucking bitch.
Y'all think it's okay for people to be talking to y'all like this? Girl, I ain't even gonna let. You shouldn't be letting these people talk to you like this, girl. Child, that nigga crying like a weirdo. Let's see. Which one was another good one?
Let's hear it for
the man of the year, white women.
The time that you start saying some stupid shit, I'm about to fucking just start hitting you.
Really?
You keep saying some stupid ass shit.
You're gonna start hitting me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's the only fucking way you'll fucking learn, I guess.
I'm not an animal.
Okay, well fucking stop acting like one. Stop fucking walking around. What if I beat you?
You just punched me in my leg twice.
Then shut the fuck up. Like, just shut your fucking big ass fucking hard-headed fucking goddamn fucking mouth. You always fucking have to fucking try to win. You don't respect me.
I don't know if y'all have ever dealt with that type of like verbal abuse, but I have. That like beating you down with words. That shit is so severe. It's so severe. We're gonna go back to K Michelle, but I just wanted to show you how, and we could go into Billy Ray Cyrus because he has an allegation. Somebody else in country music has an allegation as well. Is it McGraw? I don't know if it's McGraw, but somebody else has an allegation. But people in country music cheat, disrespect women, and our people. So yeah,
Listen to your music and your professional career will suffer. At what point in the Black community do our men create real homes? And even talking, just our first time talking, and you said you didn't even mean for that to happen. Life happens. I'm not here to judge life. I'm looking at a successful Black man that has the ability to literally turn the narrative on Black family, you know? And my grandfather, I watch my uncles and everything. My whole family, they're married. I'm not the girl who didn't see what a man creating a Black family is supposed to be. So I'm asking right now, Black men, Black men to really step up for Black women and create families.
Yeah.
It's really not cool. Black men are attacking Black women. And it's not cool. They're not creating homes. They're creating babies everywhere. It's not cool. And I'm asking you, other successful Black men, to be, you have to set an example as leads. The cute social media back and forth on Black women. Black women are strong. Black women are where you come from, this and that.
Brooks? Okay.
So there probably isn't any sympathy for you and just life happening because there's so many other things around you going on that are not fair to Black women. What is going on with the Black family? We are consistently creating the cycle of kids who can't come home and see their daddy there. And they see their mama sad at night. At what point is the successful Black man in this world going to step in and really create structure? I see white men doing it every day. I get to witness the best of both worlds every day. Getting on stage singing R&B, being here in Atlanta, I get to sing R&B, but then I get to go to Nashville and be like, you mean you ain't staying out till 6 a.m? You're going to go home to your family, you're going to write this song and leave at 5 and 6 because you're going to take care of your family and your wife? At what point do the successful Black men build Black families? We ain't going to ever have a Black family if y'all don't do it. We're never going to have it. It's just not going to happen. So if your mentality is, yes, things happen, and I'm not knocking you for that. I didn't come here for that. But at what point do you take that Black woman? Do you be in a home and show your kids what it's like, you know? At what point do you take a grip to it, not make excuses for it or mantras and things like that? It is so unfair to Black women who have been the strength and builders of so many things. And I know life happens. You can't be with somebody you don't want to be with or whatever, but my grandparents did it. My grandfather, 92, died when he was 92, my best friend. I never seen another type of man. That's why I turned down 3 rings because they wasn't like my grandpa. My grandfather raised 9 kids on his own because my grandmama died before I could even meet her. What point are our Black men going to stop the bullshit, the social media shit and all of that and build Black homes? If we don't build Black homes, we can't depend on white folk to build Black homes. So when you see somebody like your significant other who clearly loves you,
I think everybody needs to focus on themselves so that they can actually be healthy for the people around them. I think there's a lack of inner focus. I think there's a lack of figuring out what your ick is, what your problem is, what your overall ego trip is that needs to be solved. I think our parents do a lot of trauma to us sometimes, and we have to unpack those things before we can actually be a healthy parent to somebody. And I think that women should, if women are gonna, and this is because women are the ones that actually physically have to have children, women need to be responsible for who has children and who doesn't, meaning that women need to have higher standards so that they don't procreate with people who don't deserve to be procreated with. The problem is we live in a capitalist society that tells people that just because somebody has money, that means they should be a parent. And that's not the case. We would always say, oh, as long as they got the money to take care of them, that's all that matters. That's not all that matters. That's not all that matters. Those of us that come from middle class, or not even just having money, but just we didn't have to worry about certain survival things. Like you didn't have to worry about where you were going to sleep. You didn't have to worry about where you were going to eat. You got presents. Like you were able to live in a way that had a certain level of financial security. So you didn't have to like worry about certain things. But it doesn't mean that all of this trauma from the anger, from the suppression of people's true feelings, their true desires, whatever those things are inside of people individually, they are trying to crush that down because society tells them that that's what they should do. That hurts them. And then it seeps out in other ways that they don't intend. You really want strong Black families? You need to get that nuclear family bullshit out of your head. You need to understand that family is communal. Family is not just mom and dad. It's also mom, dad, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. And we have to be responsible for each other. People don't want to be responsible for each other. It's about building community. You cannot build a successful household when the community is fucked up. That's another thing. There are not enough people that are aware of what is truly harmful and what is truly healthy for children. They're not aware of what's actually healthy. And so they're out here just doing shit by the seat of their pants. Some of us are doing what we're supposed to be doing by our kids. Some of us are. But there are other ones out there that have no clue what the fuck they're doing. And so our kids are having to be around those kids. And those kids might affect how our kids think. Like, families don't happen in a vacuum. Bondi, do you support blended families? Of course I do. Like, I support healthy families, however they show up. I support healthy family, however it shows up for you, whether it was blood, whether it's people that you have made your family. I think family is very important. I was raised in what I perceive to be a fucked up but very loving family. And I feel like the things that I realized that were issues amongst my family were some of that church shit, pushing certain ideals and structured things onto people in a way that was unhealthy, that told them to push down what felt natural to them. A lot of, especially in my family, a lot of women that were raised to have educations, but because of religion, they were also kind of shielded from a lot of things. And so when they went out into the world, they went to college, whatever, they were busting out of the seams and they get under the control of some fucking man because they're green and they don't know what they're seeing. They don't know how men are out here predatory, looking for green women to take advantage of at college, anywhere. That's why they want to get you while you're young. A lot of the women in my family that ended up having drug problems, that ended up like not living a life that they would have wanted for themselves, is because when they were younger, they were so shielded from the truths of things that they went out into the world, and the first man that gave them attention, they just through everything. Basically, you have a baby. They tell you to keep the baby because you're not supposed to get abortions. Back then, you might not have been able to get abortions for some of my family members. Either way, you keep the baby because God tells you it's wrong to get abortions. So they have the child. They try to be mothers. They try to be in these households with these men. It's either abusive or toxic. Either way, the women a lot of the times didn't want to be mothers. And there's a lot of guilt that comes with, I had these kids and I do not want them. And so a lot of times women will go get with men. Men will get women on drugs. That's how you had your 80s crack epidemic. Because you're coming from parents of the 60s and 70s, yes, teaching you to have an education, but also putting a lot of puritanical views on how you grow up and how you start to express yourself. All of the little small things y'all think aren't important, nail polish, hair, makeup, clothing choices, femininity, masculinity, all of those things make a person who they are. And when you are trying so desperately to raise children into rigid boxes, it hurts them. On some level, it harms them. And then when they grow up and get into the world, it's like they don't know who they are because they couldn't be who they are. They're being taught to be the version of themselves that you want them to be, which doesn't jive. There's a person in there that the socialization does not jive with. And a lot of the growth that happens from women that are actually, people, period, that are actually doing the work to heal from their traumas and be better people, not just for themselves, but for the people around them as well. A lot of that work is finding who you have always really been, but realizing how that was probably beat out of you, proverbially or physically. Whoever you were as a child that you were supposed to be growing into being, you probably can remember moments where you were being told you were wrong or something was wrong with you or beat or something for being however you were naturally. And so then as time goes on, you start to feel like I'm supposed to be putting myself into this box, but it hurts. I can't really fit into this box, but everybody's telling me I got to fit myself into this box. Eventually you realize I'm not happy. I'm not happy and I don't know why. A lot of people just stop there. I'm not happy. I don't know why. So I'm not going to worry about it. Fuck it. Autopilot. Zombie. Other people, bitch, I got to figure this out. I don't like this. I got to figure it out. Or I have to find my way to feeling good. And then I have to find a way to be healthy in the feeling good. So I'm not harming myself in the long run. But a lot of us had to be given these tools. A lot of people, especially back in the day, were not given the tools to deal with how the person that they actually are is not jiving with the version of themselves that their parents, their religion, their socialization is trying to create.
And it's all these black women rooting for her, rooting for you. They want you to build a black home. That's their anger. They don't know you. They can't judge you for anything else. They want you.
Oh, I heard that. Somebody told me not to date a man with a child because I don't have any. And you know what it is? Women are weird. Women feel like every man out here is a prospect for them to be with. They're just as territorial as men sometimes. And there's this idea that only people with kids should date other people with kids. And what that means is like, oh, you single bitch, you need to go find you a single man. You need to let the men with babies have us who already have kids. No, bitch, you need to stop feeling like you have ownership over people and let people be with whoever the fuck they want to be with. That's weird. It's weird for people to try to control who other people be with. That's so weird to me. As long as everybody is an adult, please stop. Yeah, I saw that couple that got into a fight and ended up unaliving themselves. I saved the video of the brother saying that his brother that killed that lady was a good person. I saved it. We just didn't get to it because I haven't had time.
Being who you are, being attractive, being successful, they want you to take hold and solidify and build a black home. That's not saying you're not taking care of the kids you have, because clearly you are, and you love your kids. Taking care of your kids and building a home is two different.
Okay. Then I heard a woman with kids say she doesn't date men with kids. She doesn't date men with kids because she wants it to be all about her. And in all honesty, she shouldn't be dating anybody. And if if I was a man and a woman said some shit like that, I would run. That means you don't want to have to share me with another child. You want me to be all about you and your kids. That I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Different
I mean, unless she could provide me for another reason why you would say that when you already have kids. In my mind, I would think if a man has children that he's actually present for, that should tell you that he knows how to take care of your kids. Also, I feel like it's way too many niggas out here who don't have children that like to look for women who are looking for a man desperately so that they can take advantage of their children. So I don't know. I feel like case by case basis. I feel like we should fuck with who we want to fuck with, and all of those rules are stupid.
Thanks. At what point are we going to stop these back and forths? Oh, this type of woman don't say nothing to me about that. Well, guess what? You're just weak. Like, you want a strong woman around you, and I'm sorry. Like, black women have just that we get copied from hair to body to everything. Black women are the most unloved individuals in America, but the ones who have built
the most mimicked.
Most mimicked.
Oh, I'm well loved. I don't accept and I don't receive that. I feel that I feel loved. I feel loved immensely. I feel loved by y'all. I feel loved by my family. I feel loved by my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't you put that on us. Don't you put that on us.
Good or bad, maybe, you know? But we looking to you. We looking to you. A successful black man, we are looking to you to change the narrative. And when you don't, it becomes, go on that show and tear his ass up.
I received that. And nothing but a white flag, because I have been guilty. But if we're going to have this conversation, how we need to have this conversation, just like you're holding me accountable.
Hold me accountable.
I need black women to hold themselves.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Because that's where it's, tear his at. But then I got my brothers, it's like, keep it real. Not here. The point that I was making earlier was when me and Jazz was dating, one of the most memorable conversations that we had was, my heart goes out to Kia. Yeah. That's what she told me.
I don't know.
That's real, right?
No, it's real, right?
Okay.
But here it goes.
I forgot.
You seen Friday After Next. You're like, you don't know Baby D. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's the little boy in me.
Yeah.
You feel me? And stay with me. And I'm like, you don't know Kia. Keep her name out your mouth.
Okay.
I was in defense mode. As we kept dating, she said it again. And she would say it regularly. She's like, man, my heart goes out to Kia. See? And this is after she met Lorena. She was like, yo, like, man, Lorena cool, though. I can see what you saw. And that's cool. And we've had multiple interactions. And like, she knows what
You did not want her to have empathy for the other woman, because then that might mean she would see you clearly.
expectations for setting standards and boundaries for everybody. She just knows.
And also, y'all feel like women don't deserve empathy. You feel like they don't deserve to get sympathy from anybody. And it's mainly because you think that however you mistreat her is her fault. So why you feel bad for her?
The individual that I am. And knowing that my date history was when I did not understand what came with the success. I wanted it all. Hear this. I grew up in the church.
Okay.
My father's a preacher. My parents have been together for 39 years.
Ooh, okay.
So I know what right from wrong is, or what that structure looks like. I just didn't choose it. I just didn't choose right. Mm-hmm. Not to say that at the journey, as the journey was happening, I wasn't trying to make that right with my situation. Yeah. At the time. Kia, that I'm saying.
Okay.
So
the first baby.
Okay. Because man, we caught like COVID in 2020. I mean, inseparable. Just man.
That's the best way.
You feel me? Like, bro, we jumped off the porch and was just like inseparable. And then that's where she was like, I can't stay with you because I gotta go take care of my daughter. I was like, man, look, we're gonna make this a family. That was my pursuit then, because I come from that. Yeah. Stay with me. I come from that.
That's not why. You didn't want her to have to go back to her life. You didn't want her to have to center her child. So you offered her something that would make her recenter you. That's why you offered her that. This is a Go Block from Day Farm. It's a wild watermelon flavor. It doesn't say which strain. It doesn't say. It just says the Go Block's fruity, refreshing wild watermelon flavor. But it's let's see. It's happy, energetic, calm, relaxed. That's what they say. That's what they say.
So you wanted that because that's what you saw.
I've always wanted that. Still to this day, I want family. I believe in family. I don't have no friends. I made this a public service announcement. I don't have friends. I have family.
Okay.
Straight up. And if my daddy got your number, you're no longer a friend to me.
Family.
You're family.
Yeah.
Because even with that, that's the most influential man in my life. That's the most influential person in my life. So if he gives the hat tip to...
And wasn't that the one you said that emotionally beat down your mama? If I recall correctly, like Cam's daddy didn't treat his mom well. But you still pedestalize him. And that's because you see yourself in him now. And that's because you distribute some of those same toxic traits, right? Okay.
Gatekeeper. If my mother also does that, then cool. So for me,
right,
I've always wanted
ownership.
That's what you want.
Because that's where I came from.
Okay.
Now, if we're keeping it about accountability,
right,
I know what a woman is supposed to be. That's not to throw no shade. That's not to say that she wasn't that.
No, you don't. You don't know what a woman is supposed to be. You don't know what a woman is supposed to be. You know what a servant looks like. A woman is supposed to identify what being a woman means for her individually, and you're supposed to jive with that frequency or not. But you don't get to say, I know what a real woman look like, and that's not it. Because usually your version of what a real woman is somebody that is submissive and that is betraying themselves for some fucking man. I get tired of y'all because then y'all wonder why people don't want to be women and people don't want to be men. Y'all ask yourselves why people needed to separate sex from gender. It is because the way y'all describe what a man and a woman is supposed to be varies based on who's talking and why they say the things that they say always have some selfish meaning behind it. Meaning that this is not about seeing a woman for a person. This is about seeing her in respect to how you can utilize her.
I would resort both parties being immature and wanting the title more than the actual nuances of what it actually takes to be a healthy relationship.
Can I ask you this?
Yes.
What are your beliefs to what a woman is supposed to be for you?
For me. Now, this may not be everybody's expectations. These are my expectations. I want the woman who I have in my life to make my house a home, a safe environment, a loving environment, understanding just the totality of this ain't for the kid. Hey, grown folks talking. Y'all go downstairs or y'all go upstairs or y'all get out of here. We talking.
Okay.
Certain things should not take place in front of certain individuals.
In front of kids.
So that's not, and I hate to have this conversation because it makes it seem as if Kia wasn't that, because that's not the case.
No, you're not saying it. Just telling your experience.
I'm saying my experience. What I will resort to that in large.
Y'all, we got to take a quick break because I got to go get my food from downstairs before the flying roaches eat it. I want to move so bad. Just give me a second.
Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, y'all, I'm back. Let's get back into it, girl.
Part to me, I was young, successful, and I did not know what came with success. Because the person who is still the most influential person in my life could not relate to me no more. And now I'm here to figure out this thing called life with a young nigga from Atlanta that got money, that got clout, that got status, and got it all. So my dad, like, he would have these sermons and it would be so awkward. But you know, you ever been to church and you'd be like, man, he talking to me. He would make it so intentional. He would say, no, you know what? Cam, come on down. That's who my dad is. So when you talk about embarrassing, I don't know how to feel embarrassed because that's what my family do. We're going to put you on the front street.
Okay.
And he basically said, hey, we need to figure this out because I can't preach to the people.
Okay.
And my son is rebellion from my word.
Most sons are going to.
So understand, I've always had that accountability. But for me, my immaturity was still too curious.
But that's real to even speak on your immaturity. And that's kind of why, I want to talk to you, because I'm like, your ultimate goal of what it is, because you are self-loved, in the community. And we want to see that. But we also want to see you do, what we want. But you also have to do you. But if something doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't pressure into anything that hasn't made you happy or isn't what you even feel. But I feel like, Cam, you have been so tough in media. You haven't even expressed that side for real of this is really what I want. Or maybe it's been expressed and we just don't want to hear it. We want to hear what you say.
There's a lot of clickable things that people highlight more than others, because even having these conversations with my lady, it's like you get caught into the clickbait.
Yeah.
You ain't no different than everybody else. Did you watch the whole clip? Did you watch the whole episode?
Yeah.
Whoo, Lord, this nigga be telling on himself in such unfortunate ways. Unfortunate soul. What he's telling us right now is that they have conversations where she tries to hold him accountable for the ignorant shit that he says. And then he tries to play with her intelligence and say, or he gaslights her and says that it's not what she thinks it is. And she, just like everybody else, she didn't listen to the whole clip. Telling her that she's just like everybody else is cruel. You know why? You know why it's cruel? This doesn't embarrass anybody but you and her. The shit that you say doesn't embarrass anybody but you and her. And possibly them kids. And that other baby mama. Because I'm sure she didn't like the way you talked about her here on this episode. If she actually sat and watched it, or somebody sent her clips that referenced her. I'm sure she did not like the way you talked about her.
Yeah.
Because for that one time that I said
Psycho.
that, I made sure to back it up with, I love her to death.
But even if we're watching the whole clip, we do know people don't go with the truth. They go with what's most entertaining right now. So even with you backing it up, the initial clip still has the initial effects and the same hurt.
As we sit here and go through this full podcast, this is not the first time we've done this. People have sat and watched Cam's whole podcast. Nobody is judging you based on one clip. We're judging you based off several clips and times we've come and watched entire interviews to hear you say the stupid shit that you say. Primarily Cheyenne's one. Everybody watched that whole thing. Stop fucking playing.
You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. You're right.
And honestly, like your vibe, your team, everybody here, it's a different vibe. It's a very cool vibe. I know when I'm around devils. I'm from South. I know.
You know when you're around some sinners?
Yes, I know. And that's not the situation here. And
is that right?
I'm the person you can talk to. I'm never going to judge you about anything, but I'm going to always talk to you 100.
And if you change that, then that's why
I feel like, K. Michelle, how the fuck do you know what devils look like? Weren't you really cool with R. Kelly?
I would take offense.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because listen, I've been extremely adamant to pursuing what makes me happy.
And you got to be happy.
Oh, for sure. But to sometimes success don't bring happiness.
No, it doesn't.
Circumstances.
As a stripper. I was happy as a stripper.
Come on now. But circumstances bring happiness. If you really think about it, it's like my circumstance now makes me happy. Money don't make you happy.
Yeah.
Things don't make you happy. Accomplishments don't make you happy. Your circumstances, the state of mind of like just now, as we talk about, relationships, and we're talking about just accountability on the female side, I think during that time, still being in a relationship, I was outside. Now,
are you happy?
Yeah,
are you happy in life first?
Because I went back. You're talking about currently. I'm still back. I'm trying to tell a story, but I'm extremely happy now. But back then, I was outside, so I got everybody's best.
Okay.
Oh, but where you want to go? It's done.
Okay.
Not knowing the effects or the collateral damage it would do to my relationship.
Yeah.
Because everybody's different. Everybody has certain processes that they go about. Certain things that matter to you may not matter to this particular person.
Yeah.
And one of those things that the situation, just check in with me. When you don't check in, I know you want BS.
Check in how?
Everybody's check-in is different. It could be a text. It could be a FaceTime. It could be a phone call. It could be.
That's how you are in a relationship. You need to check in.
No. The person, whoever you're dating, what their requirements are, is what deems that. It may not even be a check-in. Just let me know that you're safe. Or some people can go days or hours without speaking, and that's y'all.
You?
No.
You like the?
I'm from the South. Smothered, covered, cut, chunked, all in it.
So, does she have to call you every hour? Does she have to call you every hour, Cam? Because that's what it sounds like.
All on me.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So my situation was, I'm extremely happy now. But back then, I was outside. So I got everybody's best.
Okay.
Oh, but where you want to go? It's done.
Okay.
Not knowing the effects or the collateral damage it would do to my relationship.
Yeah.
Because everybody's different. Everybody has certain processes that they go about. Certain things that matter to you may not matter to this particular person.
Yeah. And
one of those things that, the situation, just check in with me. When you don't check in, I know you want BS.
Check in how?
Everybody's check-in is different. It could be a text. It could be a FaceTime. It could be a phone call. It could be.
That's how you are in a relationship. You need to check in.
No. The person, whoever you're dating, what their requirements are, is what deems that. It may not even be a check-in. Just let me know that you're safe. Or some people can go days or hours without speaking, and that's y'all.
You?
No.
You like the?
I'm from the South. Smothered, covered, cut, chunked, all in it.
All on me.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So my situation was like, yo, you're not checking in. I know you're on demon time. I know.
Codependent.
And there was times where it.
So because somebody is not giving you a whole bunch of attention, that mean they cheating, or did that mean you were cheating? Is that what that meant?
Wasn't what was being said. It was how it was being said. Granted, my immaturity, my ego was so big that we was having conversations like, man, bro, it's hard.
It still is.
It's hard. I'm 24, 23 years old.
You gotta learn. You don't know.
I gotta learn. You see what I'm saying? But I know. But part of me is Curious George.
I was curious, George.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm saying I was hell. And I probably can get away with my hell more than you because being a woman, let's be honest, women, y'all gonna be mad at me today about this. But women are the best cheaters. And women can get away with way more.
So check this out.
I'm being honest.
No, I'm gonna...
Okay, so that is true. But why is that true? Why is that true, Kay? Why do women cheat better? Maybe it's because they aren't sloppy. Also, maybe it's because they fear the man harming them. So if they are going to do it, they do it in a way that best, has the best outcome of them not getting caught. Also, women don't want to get caught for all the reasons I just named. Like men go to hell on you for doing the same shit to them that they do to you. But women are better at cheating because women are sneakier. Women have to be sneakier because men are controlling and scary. I'm sorry. Like, I know y'all don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that, but that's the reason why. The reason is not just because we're just so much better at it. It's because we know how to do it better because the stakes are higher. A man can cheat on a woman and know that he's gonna have to pay for it, but also be like, I already know I'm gonna have to buy her some shit, say I'm sorry a whole bunch of times, she'll be okay. Most men know all they're gonna have to do is buy some shit, give it a little bit of time, fuck her real good, and eventually she's gonna get over it and she'll be back to normal. That's why they cheat on women the way that they do, because there's no real fear. They don't give a fuck. Especially if a man is habitually cheating on you, he don't give a fuck about you finding out. That's why when you find out, it's like, oh, my bad. Like, nigga don't care. They just don't want you to react to them cheating, meaning that they don't want to lose any of your attention or affection. Like, they don't want to lose access to you. That's why they flip out. Not because they actually feel bad. The fuck? Women cheat better because they have to. And then you don't even think back to where that comes from. Women being forced into marriages that they didn't want to be forced into. Do you know how often women are the ones that don't want to marry the man and the man wants to marry them, especially historically? Like, there's a reason why women are better at cheating. There's reasons for that. And it's because they have to protect themselves in a way that men don't. Men don't feel the same fear. That's why they cheat sloppily, on top of the fact that they're just lazy.
To be honest.
Okay.
When you're the man
Okay.
that she is cheating on.
It's their ego that says, even if she do find out, she'll be all right. She ain't going nowhere.
You see a whole different side
You
of
been
it.
cheated on?
No.
I'm asking, have you been cheated?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes, I have. Currently, no. But when she's in a relationship,
okay,
and she cheating on you with him, like for him, like, hey, I'm coming back. We gotta say, hold on, we gotta get the reservations right now. I'm coming back. I'm the best side nigga ever.
Oh,
I'm
boyfriend number 2.
Man, I'm just a organ donor. That is it.
Not an organ donor.
Listen, I just recently went to a horse race. I'm a stallion, and I get to make like that's
But
how.
did that affect you? Being an organ donor?
Yes.
Men can say it.
Yes, it did though.
It did.
No. But this is the kicker. Your boots tied up.
Well,
when you do it to the popping ones that are publicly in a relationship,
y'all can't take it.
I said, oh, publicly. Oh, you.
Ain't nothing like denying a rich popping nigga.
No.
Maybe it's the best feeling. You can straighten your wig when you deny a rich popping nigga.
You know, it flew over your head.
No, it didn't. I wanted to stick where I was at because I wanted to say that.
Now I want you to feel this.
Okay, let me feel it.
When a relationship is public with 2 popping people,
okay,
and she is cheating on him privately with you, that make you look at a whole side of a woman and say like,
what it make you do? What it make you feel like? What?
Y'all ain't what y'all.
But men do it all the time.
For sure.
But it is different for y'all. It is extreme.
You want to know?
Death. It is lay out, fall out, and die. But guess what? Y'all do it every single day.
But you know what's the difference?
What is the difference?
At least we tell y'all.
Y'all tell. Y'all get caught.
At least.
What do you mean a woman's gonna tell you before you tell a woman? Y'all get caught.
Because when you're talking about, and I receive this.
Y'all not good.
I receive this. When you say
y'all tell.
we demonize women. Yes, we do. Black men have been guilty of this for far too long.
Okay.
Demonizing women.
Okay.
I got hoes. Man, I got them all lined up.
Different area code.
So you did.
Okay.
But the deceit in a woman doesn't make it any better. Because, like I said, just because you don't know, that don't mean it's not bad.
Ooh, that's real.
I'm trying to tell you. So when you see this happening, and you be like, oh, but you get a DM on Vanish Mode before it was Vanish Mode, they should just unsend it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay. That's crazy to take it from a perspective of, from a well-off, handsome, successful man to see the women that will cheat, will cheat with you to get with you and do their men like that. That has to affect you in a certain way. Like, you have to look at this woman and be like, dang, she did him like that, she'll do me like that. But we never talk about that.
I'm trying to tell you.
I mean,
so once again, we're skewing it, right? We're skewing it. If a woman got you as a side nigga, she don't give a fuck that you view her like that. Nigga, you're a side nigga. I don't care. I don't care if you would really want to be with me. You're a side nigga, money. The fuck? Who cares?
We never talk about how men
Because
feel. You cheat with a man.
I experienced that too many times.
Okay.
You know why we don't talk about how men feel? Because they don't have any integrity. Meaning that they'll be the side nigga, and then they'll cheat on the women that they're with other women. That they have no loyalty to anything. They're just gonna seek pleasure and do whatever they want to do, and then blame and shame you to scapegoat from having to be accountable for whatever they're doing. That's why they don't actually care. That's why it's always so crazy to me when I hear men talking about body count on TikTok. It's like, are you niggas for real? Are you niggas for real? Get STD testing, wear condoms, and shut the fuck up. Like, because in my experience, men have always had way more partners than women. In my experience. When you talking two straight people, the man has usually had more sexual partners than the woman. Especially in the black community, because, you know, nigga don't have to have no money. He don't even have to be clean and y'all fuck him.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But no one think about that. Like, when a woman cheats with a man and she really want to be with that man and all of that, that man is looking like, well, heck, you cheated on the man that you got. You're going to do me the same way. And men take things differently. I will give you that.
So while I'm juggling the outside me, the wholesome me is still trying to create. And that's what I apologize for.
Men think they're smart. Men think they're smart.
Because I should not have decided or strung along the casualty.
Mm-hmm.
And I want this, just give me time, just give me great, like on my side, like blah, 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 blah. But we was not having healthy discussion.
Were you telling these women that they were going to be your end all be all?
Never.
Ooh, you never told them that?
Never.
But look.
Now, I told the one I was with, I want to be with you.
Okay.
Because I did want to be with her. The other situations was just a byproduct of a nigga from Atlanta.
At the time when needed.
A nigga from Atlanta. Oh, I could put the nouns and verbs together.
Not a nigga from Atlanta.
Oh, I got game, baby. Oh, I got game. It ain't, listen.
The best game is no game.
No, that's the you. The best game is to be able to have it, act on it, and slander it.
The burden of truth.
And pound cake it. That's how it's meant.
He's so lame. He's so whack. And that's the reason why she said no game is the best game. And he didn't even get it. He's just running his fucking mouth, looking retarded, eyes crossing, just being unattractive. But there's always some women with low self-esteem that are so excited about a big man in a polo shirt.
The burden of truth. See, what men do nowadays is the burden of truth. What they do, they go and they tell you, oh, I got this woman, I'm not doing this. And it's always said, you don't have to lie to a woman because she's going to lie to herself.
Right.
If she really wants you.
Right.
You don't have to lie to a woman because she's going to lie to herself to be with you. So the burden of truth thing that's going on right now saying, oh, you tell them exactly what it is. That way it's off of you. And the burden of truth is on them.
Mm-hmm.
Even if your actions are showing them that they are making them feel like they are number one, you've already told them what it is, right?
Still don't.
Burden of truth. That is a piece of game and things that are going on right now. So I'm old school. Old school is always said the best game is no game. And it's kind of like the burden of truth, saying what it is.
I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's no game because you're just honest.
Yeah, just tell you what it is.
I always stood on that merit though. And that's so when you, well, I would label it game. It's not game. I'm just being me. It's like, you got a girl? Yes, I do. But tonight, why you worried? Why are you worried about something that you really don't even care about?
Because y'all don't want women to be accountable for one another. To me, you can tell that him saying that makes me feel like you've interacted and cheated on Jazzy, and women have come up to you and asked you about her, and they're thirsty and they want to see what it's about. A lot of women are only into men because of the women that they are into, which is really homoerotic. Any woman that is fucking behind another woman and like only really liking that man because of the woman that he's with is homoerotic. Bitch, you're gay. You're gay.
You know all those women think they can change you, right?
Listen here. I'm a dollar bill, baby. You can't make change.
But you do know that these women, when women get into situations, they
think he's so gamey. He think he's so smart, and it's really embarrassing and cringy. I think if once you get to a certain level of understanding, you look at men like this, like y'all just have money for no reason. There's no intellect. They're not really smart. They're just manipulative, and they use a lot of words and they speak in a certain cadence that makes them seem smart. But when you really sit back and look at it, you're a man who just wants to get away with dragging women along and having them made mattress and mule for you and carry your seed while you find a way to finagle and run your mouth out of the true accountability and loyalty that and commitment that these women are wanting from you. Now, I don't live in that world, y'all. I think I'm a fan of ethical non-monogamy. I am a fan of not worrying about whether somebody is always monogamous. I care more about how a person treats me. And I feel like the way women get caught up caring so much about whether a nigga is cheating or not is that when you so worried about that, you're ignoring all the other ways he's mistreating you that are the warning signs before the cheating. So if you start to be worrying about the small things, how he made you feel, like those little slight comments that might make you feel a type of way, 1 minute being all into you and then the next minute, completely pulling away and making you feel like, wait, what the fuck's going on here? Why do I feel like I'm now begging you for attention that you were showering me with a minute ago? It's a trick. It's game. It's literally a game to get you hooked in so that they can take advantage of you in some type of way. And so that's why, like you really have to pay attention to the things that people say. Cam thinks he's really good at it. And if you any bit of smart, you should be able to see how ignorant he actually is.
Feel like I always say this, that whole song, I always say, what makes you think that your hot pocket is different from anyone else? Women always think they can change and structure a man. If you look me dead in my eyes right now, and if I was trying to get with you and you say, you know what, I got this going on and I'm not this, there is this power, this woman, this thing in a woman to feel like, no, not for me. You're going to change. So then that's where I get torn. If a man told you, and it's this woman thing in them that feels like they're going to be swept off of their feet and they're going to be different, So it's a responsibility on the man to know that that is in that woman's nature, or is it responsibility in what he's already told the woman?
I think it's subjective to each situation. I think if we're holding men accountable, I think there's a lot of guys that's out here that's lying.
Okay.
To just get it. Man, I'll tell a girl anything, just get the pussy.
They ain't even got a lot no more.
Yeah, for sure. But for me, and I'm not trying to big myself up, because I just wish that the state of mind that I am in now, I feel fulfilled. You know what I'm saying?
I love that for you.
It's like, I can look on the menu, I just can't order it. I can appreciate a nice looking female. She fly. There go a bug. That's our relationship, me and my lady. There was so much that I had to grow.
They fucked women together. Got it.
From the first instance, that even when we have our interactions now, because I see her often, and every time there's things that she doesn't get to appreciate because I'm changed. Still have some of the charisma. That's never gonna change. But to understand, like, bro, what y'all about to get into? I'm good, bro. Now, the thing that I didn't appreciate what you were saying is a lot of the descriptions or the depictions of the man that you were saying, from going home at 5 to staying at home, how can we get back to that? Like, I never was an outside person.
So you're at home a lot?
No, all the time. I'm an introvert.
Okay.
I'm an introvert. Going back to smothered, covered in chunk, I like to be by myself, but never alone.
Oh, that's me.
You know what I'm saying? I need you to be in the vicinity.
Yeah, that's not in the room with me right now, but you need to be in the house.
Hey, yeah. Oh, okay. All right, bet.
Okay.
We can. That's a love language to be understood. You feel what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of me has a goldfish type of mentality. Just make sure my area clean.
Yes.
But I want to be by myself. You feel me? I need that for my creative thought process, and then just the load management of just day-to-day stuff. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the things
sounds like a way for you not to have to fully engage all the time. Being able to say, oh, I need to be in my own little bubble. And I'm not saying that we don't need that individually, our own space. We absolutely do. But I feel like he probably uses it as a way to control Jazzy.
Things that I can't relate to you. But as you were holding me accountable, I would say that I receive it.
Thank you.
And also that a lot of my thoughts and actions was immature. I now am on this journey to merge my relationship with women.
Creative outlet.
Through the media. Because any woman who knows me, any female who knows me, they already know what I stand. Look, dog, you're not going to disrespect nothing around me.
And I would tell you, like, because media, like I said, they're going to always have a problem with what you do. And I would tell you, as a friend and coming today, you do this. Like, you can't appease media and do all of this and that. But, I'm sitting here talking to you as, a friend.
Yeah.
And I get you saying you want to try to figure that out, even, for just Black women. That's where I'm standing right now. But I'm also standing in being human.
Oh, yeah.
And you've expressed that you are human. And you've taken full accountability for being human. I don't have a heaven or hell to put you in. So I'm not here to judge you being human either way. But I did really want to talk to you coming from a woman who's made a career and life off of writing the emotions and feels of women all over the world.
Now,
I just wanted to say that it's not that they
you?
are angry with you or hate you. They just, they just want to see our men do something different from the narrative that has been placed on us. But even in there being a different narrative, you still got to
listen. Nothing about Cam makes me feel like he's our men. Nothing about Cam makes me feel like he's our men. That's not what it feels like.
Live your life too.
And be happy.
And I'm never for taking a person.
Why I feel like y'all see this giraffe sitting behind her? That looks like the same giraffe I have downstairs, maybe slightly different.
happiness away from them. And just even talking to you, you know, I get a different perspective. And I don't want to sit here like the judge and juror, but yeah, when I said I was doing this show and I came on, all the women that I know was like, oh, you need to ask him. Oh, yes, thank God you're going on there. You need to talk to him.
But in retrospect, not a lot of women. There's been, I would say, Dr. Bryant. You know, she probably,
that was intense, right?
It was, but it was a lot of me.
Okay,
and
it's not a me for somebody who's not in a relationship.
I just hold a lot of relationship consultants to a standard where, like, how you gonna tell me about a relationship and you're not in a relationship?
You know what I can tell you? I can tell you what not to do. I can't fully tell you what to do. That's how I take on songwriting and perspective.
It was just that type of energy that I was like, hold on.
I get it.
So yeah,
I get it. So when I try to speak, I'm only going to speak to you. And right, I always say I only sing songs that I know of. You know, because it's just not that. Like, if you're not married, don't speak to married people, because you ain't that. You know what I'm saying?
Answer me this.
Okay.
Do you feel like you were misunderstood?
Very much.
In what regard?
All of them. So much so that I got quiet. I've been quiet for years. It's actually kind of my first time speaking. Like speaking in years, because every time I would speak, I would be judged so heavily. I'd be viral that I just said, I'm not even speaking.
Has that impacted how you present yourself?
I feel like it has, because I went from doing every interview, saying everything, to not saying anything at all.
But when I do my research, right, and I don't want to speculate, but assistants, publicists, managers have fluctuated.
Very much.
Because
you'll never play in my face and in my circle. My thing, when it comes to me and a team, that's why I have such a strong team now, is because I used to accept a lot of things that I didn't need to. And people would always think low of me. Coming from Memphis, having the accent that I have, they thought they took my accent as stupid. One thing that I've learned from my father, who is a college professor, is the smartest person in the room doesn't let people know how smart they are. I've consistently watched people in this business because I was a woman, or because I had titties, or because of this accent. I've consistently watched people play with me, and I've sat there quietly and let them think that they were doing something. So one thing, I have the gift of firing.
That's a gift?
It's a gift.
Or the authority.
The authority. I will fire in business and fire in love. I am the runaway bride. I have been proposed to 3 times and never made it at all.
But do you think that you're the difficult person?
I think I'm difficult when I decide to set my boundaries for what I accept. People's boundaries might not be as high. People don't even like this. I think more of the people around me than they may think of themselves. And I think that they are absolutely great, and I feel like they should act like that. When it comes to my business, I will say, this is not it. This is not it. No disrespect or nothing. I will walk away, just as I will do in love.
Now, who knows the real K. Michelle?
Oh.
It's a double question. Number one, personally, really 3.
Okay.
Personally, professionally, privately. And you can take that however you want to.
Look at you. Who knows the real K. Michelle? Personally, my child, my family. I made it a point to never put my child into media on my social media page or put them anywhere. Full TV shows about my life and my child is not there. My child knows exactly who his mother is. And he also knows that, you know, with my child just graduating from college and all of that, I did my job, graduated with honors, and he never wanted to be famous. So my child will tell you, I know my mother and I know her protection. That's private. Personally, I would take that as relationship. There are not a lot of men that have truly penetrated who I am. I am a very calculated, very chess playing dater.
They say the best game is no game.
No game, but chess playing is just who I am. It's not a thought to it. It is.
It's called discernment.
If I can't write a song about you, I'm not gonna date you. I date men for songs.
Oh, okay.
Date
like Summer Walker.
I do it all for songs. I enjoy it as a thrill.
Who got the biggest banger then? We talking about songs. We talking who got the biggest, like, who on the Billboard top?
I respect that. I respect that. I'm willing to be in fucked up situations for the plot. But I'm not. To me, that like what you saying that you're not a victim of your fucked up relationships, and that you were strategic about choosing fucked up relationships so that you could be a songwriter. Is that the case? Oh, okay, girl. Okay, that's fine.
Respectfully, my biggest selling album that I've ever written was about Idris Elba. And respect to his wife. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. I'm happy he's happy, but I've never written an album.
Somebody ain't got a song got you, but an album?
A whole album. But I respectfully sent him that album. I sent him that album.
And I want to be respectful. We do want to be respectful.
Yes, I would never disrespect that woman. And
but we just talking about history here.
Yeah, history. I sent him that album before it ever came out. And that was the most emotional and honest of writing that I ever did. And still to this day, it still hits top 10 every year.
With that being said, this ain't got nothing to do with nobody. Have you ever dated outside your race?
Yes, that's all I would like to do.
Now?
Yes.
Okay.
I always get in trouble for this over the past 3 years. I've always told my sisters to go where they are loved. And I've always told Black women to be open to dating, even outside of their race. I love Black love, and I would like that. But to see my African-American women sitting around waiting on a Black man as he chooses whoever he wants to choose.
Do you look at that?
I do.
So if you look at that as a way, no matter what it is, this goes back to accountability.
Okay, give it to me.
If you look at the black man that's in a relationship with another race as a side eye.
I don't look at it as a side eye.
Okay,
That's the thing.
Okay, how do you look at it?
I want black men to do, if they were a black woman, to build a black family. I'm not the girl that sits up there and looks at the black man when he dates a white woman or date someone and say, ooh.
The point is, black women should not be sectioning themselves off as being race loyal when the black men aren't doing that. It's not, I'm about to go get with white men to get back at black women. No, that's what to get back at black men. That's what black men do. Black men date outside of their race as a way to be vengeful or antagonize black women. Also to buy into whiteness, proximity to whiteness.
You can't do that.
To wash away whiteness through biracial children.
Normally, I don't even want them in. And I date.
To wash away blackness with biracial children. I'm sorry, y'all. My words are all over the place.
I've always dated outside of my race. And I would like for black women to be open to the people that like them. White men love me. Like, white men love me. And that's just...
Once you go black,
that's just a truth.
As it's getting thrown back, you ain't never going back.
Yeah, they love me. And that's just always been what that is. Like,
I love that for you.
You do?
I swear on everything.
Tell me why you love that for me. Come on.
I'm an opponent of happy.
For the plot, though.
Happy. Go to, go do, go be with whatever, whoever, whenever, as long as it incorporates happily.
Yeah.
Then whatever. Don't tell me you're married. If you can't tell me that you're happily married. Don't tell me you're in a relationship.
Oh, but they're going to tell you they married. I've been married, but you are miserable.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Frost Bistro. It reminds me of the Rashida and Kirk situation. They've been married for forever and they are miserable. That is horrible. And I just remember her yelling out saying, you'll never be married. Well, not to that bullshit. It is right. You know, don't just be married to be married. And that's what I want for black women. I'm all for black love.
Can I stop you right there?
Stop me, come on.
That's what my nucleus was. I don't want to be married just to be married.
You want to be happy?
Thank you. Proceed.
Okay. I just feel like that.
No, you don't want to be married because then that would take some of your choices away and everything is about you. Everything that you do is about you. You center yourself in every decision you make. And to be faithful, to be loyal, to make a commitment of that nature to a woman that you're asking for that commitment from, that will put you in a vulnerable position. And you don't want to be put in a vulnerable position, even though you want to put her in a vulnerable position. So I'm going to tell y'all like this. If you are a woman that seeks to be with a man like Jazzy and Cam, I feel like marriage can be entrapment for women. I really, really do. But I also feel like sometimes it's a way for men to not be accountable in the things that they create, meaning that you will get wife treatment. Like she'll treat you as if she's your wife, but you won't treat her as if she's your wife. You'll pretend, but you won't really treat her as if she's your wife. But I personally think we need to just throw that whole marriage thing away. Like, I'm gonna just tell y'all, okay? And not that I feel like we should throw like love or companionship and relationships away. That's not what I think. But I think the way we view marriage, like if Cam doesn't want to be married, y'all, we should not keep having conversations with him about why he isn't married. Don't be married then, nigga. But we know the reason why you don't want to get married is because you don't want to be financially vulnerable because you're stingy. A lot of these black men who have money are stingy. They're fucking stingy because they either grew up poor or they still have some poor nigga mindset about having money. So they don't realize the way white men do that their wealth is for their families. And white men still use their wealth to control their families, but it's not the same mentality that black men and white men do differ in that scenario. White men at large are raised in a family dynamic that might be toxic, but makes them view the financial responsibility as important. So they will get married, first of all, because they recognize that getting women into marriage is servitude for women. But also it does really well for them in their business positions. Like men that are actually trying, like she said at the beginning, in actual corporate America, having a wife and a family has always made a man seem as if, okay, I can give him access codes because he's not just going to run away with the money from the company if he has a family and a wife. That's the mentality that a lot of people have. Okay. At the end of the day, I feel like If you're going to have a man with a baby like Cam Newton, there needs to be a contract written beforehand that is going to put money aside for you. He's going to like you should have everything in writing that says what he will give you if the relationship breaks up. Like you should have a prenup or a post-nup type of situation for when you decide to have a baby with someone. Because at the end of the day, it should not just be on you when they decide they don't want you anymore. They should not be able to put 2 children in you and take away from your ability to do things for yourself, because children make it harder for you to do things for yourself. So they shouldn't be able to create that dynamic without securing you in some type of way, especially if the child is being had from the standpoint of prolonging some nigga's legacy. If a woman just wants to have a baby because she wants to have a baby and it's not important for her to be with that man, it's more important for her to have that baby. I need her to get that. I'm really starting to feel like people need to talk about these things and have contracts laid out beforehand just in case, because it's like you don't want to actually think about what could possibly happen, so you don't prepare for it. And so then when it happens, everybody's just at a disadvantage. You don't have to be married. But if you're going to have a baby for a man, I do think you need to be secured in certain ways, unless you are completely okay with raising that child all on your own without their help at all. And if that's the case, you need to make sure not to put their name on the birth certificate so that they can't use the baby to try to control you and all of that type of shit. We have to be smart about it now, because there are women that keep babies because they want the babies, but there are women that keep babies because they want the check. And then there are men that act like, oh, I don't want to have to pay. Okay, so then you need to have an agreement. You need to get a vasectomy. We need to start doing things that are preemptive. But really what a lot of y'all want to do is have these fucked up situations and complain about it.
Like, life is so short. When you start losing people, or even me, I went through for surgeries, like cosmetic surgeries, I almost lost my life. To really think for a surgeon and people to really look at your mom's face, and people to really, the doctors really think you're not going to make it over trying to create or do something to yourself, and you say, God, give me another chance to live, and you live, you see life differently. Yeah, I've seen niggas get killed and stuff like that, but when it's you, I don't see things like other people. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have I just completely changed. Looking at your mother's face and they saying, what's wrong with her, all of this.
Can we get some tissue?
That's a different thing, Looking at your life and praying to God, if you give me a second chance, this and that. Everybody don't get to live a second chance.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is my opinion.
What?
When you're happy, ain't too much got to change.
Yeah.
And I say that direct, but indirectly saying the person that's making you happy, you start becoming the butt of the joke, but as long as you're giving the butt up, it's okay.
Yes.
You fat, pudgy little thing, girl, come on over here.
See, but I didn't have that. Like when I got
That's what.
No, y'all. Let me rewind it.
Don't tell me you're married. If you can't tell me that you're happily married, don't tell me you're in a relationship.
Oh, but they're going to tell you they married. I've been married, but you are miserable.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Frost Bistro. It reminds me of the Rashida and Kirk situation. They've been married for forever and they are miserable. That is horrible. And I just remember her yelling out saying, you'll never be married. Well, not to that bullshit. He was right. Don't just be married to be married. And that's what I want for Black women. I'm all for Black love.
Can I stop you right there?
I mean, come on.
That's what my nucleus was. I don't want to be married just to be married.
You want to be happy?
Thank you. Proceed.
Okay. I just feel like that. Like, life is so short. When you start losing people, or even me, I went through for surgeries, like cosmetic surgeries, I almost lost my life. To really think for a surgeon and people to really look at your mom's face, and people to really, the doctors really think you're not going to make it over trying to create or do something to yourself, and you say, God, give me another chance to live, and you live, you see life differently. Yeah, I've seen niggas get killed and stuff like that, but when it's you, I don't see things like other people. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have I just completely changed. Looking at your mother's face and they saying, what's wrong with her, all of this.
Can we get some tissue?
That's a different thing, Looking at your life and praying to God, if you give me a second chance, this and that. Everybody don't get to live a second chance. Thank you.
This is my opinion.
What?
When you're happy, ain't too much got to change.
That's a lie. When you're happy, ain't too much got to change. I feel like that's something, okay, under the right context, that's true. Under the right context. But what it means to actually be happy in a situation also means that your happiness should not be at the detriment of someone else. And when Cam says it, I feel like low key, his happiness is at the detriment to the women that he's around.
Yeah.
And I say that direct, but indirectly saying the person that's making you happy, you start
automatically. No person should be making you happy. I need y'all to understand that no person should be making you happy. You make yourself happy. You have to make yourself happy. Y'all, I used to hear these things and wonder, like, how would I get there? I think the fact that you even seek it out, you seek out to make yourself happy, you seek you being the love story. If you're seeking that, I think you will find it. I do. I think if you are seeking yourself as the love story, you will find it. And I feel like when you find love within yourself, you can find love in other people. But if you don't find love in yourself first, you really won't be able to ever really find it in other people, because you will use their barometer. Like you'll test your own shit based on how they're treating you, when that's not how that's supposed to go. That's not how that's supposed to go. Also, when you really love yourself, you have high boundaries. So you set boundaries for people. And then if people aren't treating you well, you remove them quickly. You don't just wait and allow them opportunities to continue to pick you apart until you are no longer as confident and in love with yourself as you should be. And I'm talking about in a healthy standpoint, not in some narcissistic bullshitty way that, somebody might use in order to take advantage of other people. Your happiness has to be predicated on you. Your happiness is about you. It's not about another person. It is the realest thing anybody will ever tell you. And it's the hardest thing to actually, you know what I'm saying? It's the hardest thing to get for yourself.
Are becoming the butt of the joke, but as long as you're giving the butt up, it's okay.
Yeah. That part, y'all. I wanted to go all the way back because I need to be, I like to listen to things more than once.
Killed and stuff like that. But when it's you, looking at your life and praying to God, if you give me a second chance, this and that, everybody don't get to live a second chance. No. You know? Thank you. You know?
This is my opinion.
What?
When you're happy, ain't too much got to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I say that direct, but indirectly saying the person that's making you happy, you start becoming the butt of the joke, but as long as you're giving the butt up, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that got to do with what she was saying. She was literally talking about mortality, and he starts talking about how Jasmine should be okay with being the butt of the joke as long as he's fucking her and loving on her. That's what I got. Tell me if I'm tripping.
Okay.
Yes.
You fat, pudgy little thing, girl. Come on over here.
See, but I didn't have that. Like when I got into
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You know?
And that's the power of relationships.
Mm-hmm. Like my guy now, he is
the power of relationships is to have you so brainwashed and disassociated that you accept mistreatment for dick and affection and attention. That's why I posted that nothing is more valuable than attention, not time, not money. Attention is more valuable than anything, because people will do so much just for attention that doesn't gain them any wealth, that doesn't gain them any real love. People just want to be seen and witnessed a lot of the times. And if they spend a lot of time in their childhood not being seen, not being heard, not being witnessed, they feel like their existence needs to be proven. And when they need to prove their existence, it shows up in fucked up ways sometimes. I hope that wasn't confusing.
Mexican and black and
Hispanic.
And the thing is, I have always been like, I realized, let me say this, the men that have treated me the best, we're gonna get in trouble about this.
White men?
But the men that have treated me the best have not been black men. And I'm a black mama bear. I am for black love.
It's not a surprise. That's not a surprise, because for one, I believe that white people are freer and able to deep dive and figure their shit out. So if a white person wants to actually figure their shit out, there are easier ways for them to do that, because they're not in the same survival mode that black people are in. Not being bombarded with the negativity of racism would allow you so much time and space to figure your shit out. That's why you will find that white men won't have the same level of toxicity or toxic masculinity as black men, because they never had as much to prove. They never had as much to prove. That's why. That's a good and a bad thing. They're mediocre, but also don't feel the need to overextend their masculinity to prove anything to anybody because they're white, honey. They have all of, you know what I'm saying? Especially white men that get around K. Michelle. These are white men with money. Like, they have no reason to walk around being a dick to every woman that they come into contact with when all they have to do is throw money on it and make people do what they want to do, or be kind and make people, especially white men that engage with black women. They know how black men treat black women. They know all they have to do is be kind, be nice, and have some type of emotional intelligence, and black women will respond to the attention that they're getting because they're so used to the brutal way that black men engage with us. Because black men engage with us out of some deep-rooted jealousy and some anger that white men, because they're not as close to us, they don't have time to develop for us. They develop it for their own women, their own moms, their own sisters, but they may not develop it for us because they didn't have to be in proximity to us. They see us as other, outside of how they might view the women around them. So that's why it doesn't always mean a good thing. So like Bill Maher is one of those men that ended up fucking with a black woman, and he's still a piece of shit as far as I'm concerned. But there was a time where he was made to seem like he was better than black men because he just wasn't as verbally or outright abusive. Because I believe there's a moment in privacy when white men, first of all, I don't know about everybody else, but I could feel like how white men are dangerous in a I might unalive you way. Like the one time a white boy was really obsessed with me. I had a white boyfriend in middle school, but he didn't have this effect. He was just very sweet to me. But the one in when I was at the New York Film Academy, I could tell he was about to become obsessed easily with me. And I could just tell, and it made me scared. And I was just very on edge with the way he was. And he wasn't like black dudes are. He's not mean. He was very like, yeah, dude, long hair, really cool and shit. But I could tell that he was very interested in me in a way that made me feel like he wanted to possess me. And it made me fearful. And it's something that black men don't really I've only seen that in black men who have money or feel like they're smarter. Like they feel like they're not the hood dude. There's a level of I'm smart enough to actually capture you, bitch, that they have. And it feels more dangerous than the rugged men of the world that I can see coming from 10 miles away.
I'm gonna ride for my black men. But if we're being honest about the men that have treated me the best, they have been white men. They have been this and that. So when I got in a lot of trouble on B103 some years ago because I told black women to date in love, not in race. Oh, baby, they told me up. You know what I'm saying? They told me black men tore me up. And that's why when I'm talking to you and I'm talking to you about, okay, I understand you want to be happy. Like I could come in here and judge you this and that. No, it's about happiness. Life is too short.
Can I give you some insight?
Give me.
Now, I think a lot of things are awarded.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of actions should come by way of not just given. It should be earned, so to speak. Right?
Is that everything? Or are you talking about in love? What are we talking about?
I'm talking about everything. Certain things are default based, chivalry, respect. Those things are just default. That's stock motor.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? We ain't talking about no extra added amenities. But what I'm getting to is the men, no matter who they are, black, white, green, blue, it don't matter. I would tell you as women, as a woman, but women in general, have grace with your man.
Oh, I do.
But understand this, don't assume. We have to stop assuming. There's a lot of times where we have, bro talk.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst type of bro talk is when you compare and contrast in your relationships in a bad way.
Okay.
Man, you think your girl crazy? Man, you see what I'm saying? That type of talk, that's the point of no return.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But it all has a lot of stemming things. But when you know and understand your partner and are willing to go on that journey to try to find that understanding. See, a lot of times women judge the branches.
Yeah.
But we got to get to the root.
Okay.
Everything he's saying is fake deep, and really just means women should allow men to mistreat them until the men figure it out.
Okay.
Let's get to the root. Like who, what,
mm-hmm.
why you feel that way, baby? Let me tell you this. When you was talking, I didn't appreciate that. Okay, baby, what should I done? I don't know. I can't tell you that right now because this is the thing that has worked for me. I'm still processing it, and give me grace for processing it. And as I process, I will try to find the words to explain how it made me feel and how I can direct you to do it because things happen. I think in my mature state now, I've been more open to listening.
Okay.
And challenging the status quo. My children have taught me this, but why is a real question.
I think that, like, right now, even for me, yeah, like, I have those type of conversations. Like, I didn't like this. You know, before I might be like, like, it's like, I didn't like this. I don't want to do this, this and that. Dating at my age right now, I was in a 10-year relationship and never got married. 10 years. And to hop back into the dating world right now and to go through what I go through just in life general, professionally, all of this, I just see things different. So I get to have those type of conversations that you're speaking of. I get to be like, I didn't like when you said that, this and that. I wasn't mature enough back then to even deal in that. So when I see my sorority sisters who are doctors, fine as hell, doctors, lawyers, all of this, and they're single. And they're waiting on the black man to come and sweep them off their feet. I'm like, girl, you better go where you are loved. Like, you better go and love how you love.
Can I speak to that too?
Speak to it.
Some people are delusional to what they attract.
What? Tell me. Speak on that. When you say that, tell me.
You can be a doctor, but that don't mean
you attract the doctor. Oh, okay. I get that.
your resume.
No, baby. You could be a doctor and attract another doctor, and that doctor could be a narcissist or a sociopath or someone that wants you to acquiesce and give things up that they're not willing to acquiesce and give up on their own. That's how you end up in a fucked up situation. These people are maybe not heard completely, but they're speaking beyond their scope. It's like watching people that aren't as smart try to be deep and deeper than their well can go.
May is filled with accomplishments and accolades. But you trying to attract a baller. Survey says you attract a bench warmer.
So let me ask you this. For someone like me, who
that sounds like in order to get the type of man you want, you have to acquiesce. Because if you're a strong woman, if you have a lot going on, then you're gonna pick a beta, aka a bench warmer. Y'all want women to be okay with this abuse so bad.
come from Memphis, Tennessee, who is rough around the edges, this and that, but I attract the wealthiest and most refined of white men. Why is that?
I'm not white.
I mean, you're not white, but you're a man. You're a man. You're a man.
Yeah, but
so can you tell me?
You're in the NFL, so you know what that means. What that means is for her to attract white men, that means she has aesthetic that they can appreciate, an energy that they can appreciate. All men, there's a feminine energy. Y'all really think like slavery and civil rights and racism really got y'all minds fucked up. White men are just as physically attracted to black women as anybody else.
Why even in that, I just want to get so women like me can even see. I don't attract, never have. And I don't even, the thing is I always attract men with money who are successful and I never ask them for it. That might be my problem. But why do I attract the complete opposite of where I'm from and who I am?
Hold up. Before she gets a chance to respond, I'm going to let y'all hear something from a black woman I seen on TikTok today that said something about attracting people. And I felt like what she said was true. I'm about to play this for y'all. Hold up.
Stop telling women that they attract who they are. Stop it. Stop it. Stop telling women that they attract who they are. Stop it. Stop it. Look how busted I look. I am at the gym, minding my business, about to leave. I don't get beautiful for the gym because I'm trying to get ugly with it, okay? I got on a sweat vest, some old school old lady, look at the wrap bands because my wrists hurt, gray hair popping, and somebody rushes out to tell me that they feel an attraction. But the only thing is that he's married and he's a Hebrew Israelite. I didn't attract that shit. And just because I have locks doesn't mean I attract that. Nothing about me says I want to be that little extra piece of meat on the side to help you with all that shit. No. Leave me alone.
You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see the point here? It's cap that you attract what you are. No, light attracts energy vampires. A lot of the times you attract things because you look good to people and they're trying to find a way to get a piece of what you got. The fuck?
A lot of times, and I hope I answer it this way, a lot of times we're dating. And who am I? I'm an opinion.
I want your opinion now.
You have to be realistic, but also understand it, being intentional too. No matter who and what it is, it's like the intentionality has to be behind the action.
Okay.
So whether he's white, whether he's black, if you know what you want, go get it.
But it's not about me. I'm saying when I go out, somebody might this and that. And then I am in the whitest city in America. It was named that. So that's different. I'm saying it's not about what I want. It's about what comes to me. And I'm asking you as a man, I'm speaking for the ladies.
Yeah.
I'm asking you a question as a successful man that women want this and that. When you are attracted to a woman, what do you look for? Let's start there.
Used to.
Okay, well, you have someone now.
Yeah.
But before you had this amazing woman,
Right.
what were you looking for as a successful, handsome man that is in the majority of someone that women would try to date? What do you look for? Just one.
First and foremost, beauty has to be there.
Okay.
That's because a lot of times girls may have good resumes, but they're not.
Okay.
Their cup of tea may not be my choice.
Okay.
Now, are we grown?
We grown as hell.
Go get the dude. Send hints.
Oh no.
No, see,
oh no. Nobody's sending no hints,
Can I
man.
make it? Can I make it?
You a hunter.
No,
Go hunt.
Listen though. Take you for an example.
Okay.
You're a very intimidated woman. Like men are intimidated when they approach you. You're not the average person.
I'm super cool.
They would never know because they just assume.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how alpha a man is or how successful a man is. A man still needs hints.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. Which means
Like
he's
it could be
not an
eye contact. It
alpha.
don't always have to be a drink. It could be like, okay, she talked to me. Now I'm about to go in. A lot of times women assume and they be damned if I give the first hint or I go out to. There's no real rules to love, ladies and gentlemen.
No, sounds like the rule you're trying to create is as a woman, you should chase me as a man to let me know that you want me. That's what that sounds like. And I'm not chasing nobody. I'm going to show you genuine respect, interest, and attention. And if you don't respond to that in like, then I'm going to drop you. But as a man, I'm sorry, Cam Newton, you being a rich man with the money, you would have to walk up to me. Like I would never walk up to you. That's wild. You're the man. Are you okay?
If you know what you like, I've literally had conversations and I said, so you mean to tell me you seen a man that you like? You could see a potential or a thing there, and you allowed that man to walk by and you not say nothing?
That's old school, like traditional. You can say I'm wrong. I just personally don't believe you are, as a woman, you set yourself up. You are never supposed to approach a man.
Okay, but listen to this. There's some women that are friendly.
I don't believe that. I do believe that women should have intentionality about how they go about things. Like you should be in control. But also there's a way to do that. I don't feel like women should just be chasing men the way men chase women. I think women should be seductive in order to allure and pull in.
Okay.
But that doesn't necessarily mean she's single.
Okay.
There's a lot of women who are single, but they're not friendly.
Yeah.
So do you understand why you need hints to understand, like, okay, because now this is the trippiest thing now.
What?
Women wear married rings as if to say that they're married and they're not. And how is a man supposed to look through all the barricades and the fences? And it's like, yo, how was I supposed to hit on you when you got
on a wedding ring?
And you got friends, you got guys around you. They don't know that that's your cousin. They don't know that that's your assistant. They don't know that that's your manager. You're K. Michelle. They don't know that these men that's around you aren't who
What I'm saying to you is there's so many single women out there watching and that love your podcast. And I'm just asking you the question.
Are we grown? I asked, grown. So therefore, go get what you want. Don't be desperate. Listen, stop.
No, Cam, you can't go.
Don't be desperate. There's ways.
It's not desperate.
Go back. Sorry, y'all.
Through all the barricades and the fences, and it's like, yo, how was I supposed to hit on you when you got
on a wedding ring?
And you got friends, you got guys around you. They don't know that that's your cousin. They don't know that that's your assistant. They don't know that that's your manager. You're K. Michelle. They don't know that these men that's around you aren't who we are.
What I'm saying to you is there's so many single women out there watching and that love your podcast. And I'm just asking you the question.
Are we grown? I asked, grown. So therefore, go get what you want. Don't be desperate. Listen, stop.
No, Cam, you can't go.
Don't be desperate. There's ways.
It's not desperate. It is once you start some shit, you got to end it. If I talk to you first, I'm the man of the house.
That's not the case.
If I talk to you first, I'm flipping you over.
No.
That's how. Maybe I'm just, I'm old school.
You're going too far.
I agree with that.
You're going too far.
And don't let me talk to you first and pay my own bills.
No.
Oh, it's real, man.
Yeah. But I'm not saying that though. But I just gave you a real example that you may have been guilty of, from the rings to the entourage to all this. And how is a man capable of deciphering through all that? It's extremely difficult.
No, it's not. No, it's not. All you got to do is pay attention. A woman like K. Michelle, if she does have an entourage, everybody that's around her obviously is not going to be a person that she's fucking with. You look for the person least likely to be the person that she's fucking with. Is she single? Are any of those people around her man? Very simple. Very, very simple. It's not hard. The only reason I feel like, women should have some type of get up, only because I date women. So that's the only reason I feel like that. But I wouldn't seek out a man like that. That's weird to me. Like, the only thing you're going to get from me is a look. If I want to engage with you, a look is all it takes, because most men will pounce on you for making eye contact. And you weren't even trying to make eye contact. You just so happen to look up in their direction and y'all eyes lock. And a nigga think that mean you was trying to fuck him. So Cam is on bullshit right now, because all it takes is a look. That's all it takes. One look is all it takes. Like, cut it out.
There is certain ramifications that can come with a bold man.
Oh,
so if I look through, if I look through all the BS, right? If I look through, that's the dude. I don't care nothing about that, bro. Man, she bad. Boy, I got to go get. That's my wife. Hey,
okay,
baby,
that's good.
How you doing? You straight? Can I get you a drink? I'm married.
Okay, well then leave it alone. That wasn't your wife then. She was already a wife.
That's still
but a man still is supposed to go
get it. I think a lot of women don't.
No. What we understand is that you don't like being rejected to the point that you can't just take it on the chin because you a bitch. I'm sorry. That's a bitch made quality for you to like something and be scared to go after it because you feel like you might get rejected. Women roll like that. Men are not supposed to roll like that. In my opinion, how I would characterize a man that's walking around with money in the bank and all of that shit, tall football player, like that. You don't like. If I was a man walking around like him, I would absolutely be okay with walking up to women and asking them for, you know what I'm saying, asking them for their time. And if they rebuff, okay, no problem, back off. Like, you take the L. You got me. All right. No worries. I had to try. No worries. You could Mac even in the walk away. The fuck?
Understand this from a man's perspective, and this is a vulnerable expression. But no matter if male or female, nobody loves rejection. And all I'm asking you is just to show a sign, not desperate.
So what's the sign? So when you go out, you're not supposed to wear a certain ring, this and that. Don't have your friends around. You're supposed to sit like this.
Even if you got all that, because a nigga like me, when I'm outside or when I was outside, I gotta make eye contact.
Oh, so you're gonna be like that?
But a girl like you gonna have sunglasses on. Which is even makes it even harder. You see what I'm saying? Niggas taking a break.
I get you that.
You see what I'm saying?
You're right.
Now I'm over here like, now I'm looking desperate. Now I'm all the way, and then you don't turn around.
But wasn't it a woman want to be worth the shot?
Oh, for
worth
sure.
the shot, worth the rejection. You gotta shoot it. I just don't feel like as independent.
Also, women already know that men are not willing to do a lot, and they're willing to do a lot. So that's why on the initial, a man has to be willing to do more because the woman is going to do more once the relationship starts. And everybody knows that. You got to be willing to come if you're trying to get the prize. The fuck? You got to play the championship in order to get the fucking trophy, nigga. Like, you can't just be out here walking into the stadium, looking at the basketball court and like, I want that trophy. I'm going to get that trophy. And then don't play the game to get the trophy.
And then as women are right now and this and that, a woman should just never approach a man.
But
if a man doesn't
I'm
approach
not saying approach. I never said approach. What I said
or even be the aggressor.
I'm not saying aggressor. These are words you said, not mine. I just said send a hint.
What hint? Like tap you on your shoe?
Man, listen, you tap on these shoes right here. These shoes got stuff on there.
Tap on the shoe?
Look, me and my girl, look, we straight off.
How did you meet your girl now? Like, what was that? Tell me about that. How was that? And with the big old smile on your face. How was it? What was your mode? How did you know that this beautiful woman?
She pressed me.
Oh, yeah.
She pressed me.
What type of press?
Listen, man. Last thing I remember, we was at a party. We went back to my house at the time, and we was amongst people. I'm still trying to figure out, like, who, what is. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? We don't play the drinking games. I did not know. I didn't have a confirmed kill. For my gamers that's out there, I had to kill, but I didn't have a confirmed kill. I had to sweep up the badge.
Okay.
For my Call of Duty people. When she
why is that? Why is that the euphemism, sir?
hit me with the so what's up? I said, oh baby, that's all I needed.
That's all you needed.
I'll take it from here. I'll take the check. I'm good. I'm like, I just needed so what's up?
You needed something. And you know, people assume because you are who you are that, you know.
When I heard those words, it was almost like they put the Batman sign up in there.
And you was ready.
I done turned from Bruce Wayne to Batman.
Okay.
Looking for a Joker.
So ladies, I guess
just send a hint.
My friend is trying to say, send a hint if it's not moving your way, because I do speak for a lot of single ladies. I'm not single.
His $1 million ass did apply pressure to her. He full of shit. He played games to make her chase, though. That's what that tells me.
Now, but I still sing the songs of women.
I'm telling you. This is the reality of successful men.
Okay.
That's ready to bring it on in. To bring it on home. We don't look at that. Y'all look at that.
The more money that a man makes and the more successful he is, the more
it's
ready
diluted.
he is to settle.
Say one more time.
The more successful a man is, or the more money he makes, the more open he is to settling down.
Absolutely not. I think the more money that he has, the more successful he is. The delusion, it is diluted with the expectation of women because it's so easy.
Okay.
But when a man is ready,
he ready. Oh, do you believe this? Do you believe no matter he can love a woman, this and that, but until a man is ready, like any woman that's around, when a man is ready, that's who he gonna marry. They always say.
I can agree with that.
Oh, so they lose all the ones they really love because they're not ready. But then if a woman is in his face when he is actually ready, that is who he marries.
And
that should let you know it's not about the woman, it's about the marriage. It is about the servitude that goes along with it.
It's like that a lot of women have prepped another man
for another woman. Build a bear. I got a song called Build a Bear. I didn't build this man, then took this from him, put that one here. I wish I could build a man. And
first of all, you're not building him. He's stealing things from your personality to make himself better. He's taking things from what you've taught him to make himself better, which is why women should be charging for all of the work that they put in with these niggas. I'm going to leave this right here because it's been 2 hours and 40 minutes and I was already on live today. I'm sorry. So we're going to come back. We're going to come back for another members only this week. I'll actually try to do it on Friday and we'll finish this and I'll add some more stuff in there for y'all. All right. Y'all have a good rest of y'all evening. I hope the conversation was thought provoking and we'll continue this later on, girl. Peace out.